At the entrance to the demon realm, a massive burst of light appeared. A person holding a megaphone announced, "Demon Realm Raid Squad, please double-check your supplies, formations, and positions." Everyone was laughing and chatting happily. "This is my first time going with so many people. I'm so nervous." "What's there to be nervous about? We have the Flying Tiger Guild." They said this raid was just a training session for the Flying Tiger Guild. "It should be fine, no casualties. I hope they notice me." Someone sitting in front, polishing his sword, suddenly asked, "What's your class?" Shul Gangrim felt a bit flustered. The Flying Tiger Guild didn't recruit members based on personality, but solely on class. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. Information: Shul Gangrim, class Insect, rank 3. The Flying Tiger Guild turning back to 5 years ago. After the awakening, everyone's abilities were decided based on their Destiny Bazi. The Destiny Bazi was something that had been tied to each person since birth. It was based on the day and time of one's birth. He absolutely despised this. Destiny is total trash. Someone behind him poked his shoulder. He jumped and spun around. Hi, you're from the Flying Tiger Guild, right? I think we are in the same team." The young man rubbed his neck shyly. "This is my first time participating in an extermination mission, so I'm nervous." He was so friendly, but he was actually happy to be fighting alongside someone from the Flying Tiger Guild. Seeing this, Gangrim was confused. "Why is he talking to me? Is he a rookie?" The group from before waved. "Hey, you! Come over here for a second." He pointed at himself. "Huh? Me?" The other person whispered, "Be careful, that's Shul Gangrim." He turned back, terrified. "Shul Gangrim? Seriously?" He immediately turned back around. They had already locked eyes. Gangrim sat gloomily in a corner. As expected, there were rumors about him that Shul Gangrim had killed his teammates and stolen their power. His expression was emotionless. Many returned injured when they were in a squad with Shul Gangrim. In his destiny, it was written that death would follow him. If you were in his squad, you'd get bad luck. Those rumors were spread because of his power. He pulled something out. The Destiny window. All information appeared. Shul Gangrim, class Insect, rank 3. Flying Tiger Guild. Ability Destiny Discovery, class Dragon, rank 3. You can check the Destiny window of yourself or others. System Popular Power. Destiny Discovery. Class Dragon, rank 3. You can extract a portion of an opponent's destiny when they die and make it your own, but it will increase your karma. Load. Gangrim thought to himself, "A sinister power that allows me to steal destiny from corpses." It was true that many who had been his teammates were injured. He bowed his head. They were all affected by his unlucky destiny. Things gradually became clearer. The Destiny class is divided into 5 tiers. The highest tier is God. After that is Dragon, Demon, Human, and Insect. Each tier is divided into rank 1, 2, and 3. His class was the lowest, at the very bottom of society, the Insect class. He had long understood the problem. In other words, he didn't have enough power to take down other awakened, and he needed a few more conditions to use his ability. He bowed his head lower. That's why he had never killed or stolen destiny from any corpse. He frowned. "Damn it! Why am I feeling so depressed now?" Yuhara rested her chin on her hand, looking at him. "Shul Gangrim, what are you doing here all by yourself?" He jumped. "Yuhara!" She smiled brightly. "There's going to be an after-party following the conquest. Are you coming?" Information about her. Yuharang, class God, rank 3, Flying Tiger Guild, Gang Taehan reminded him. "Hey, you didn't go last time, so you have to be there this time. Gang. Taehan, class, Demon, rank 2, Flying Tiger Guild." Gangrim stood up decisively to leave. "You're not going?" He was surprised. "Huh? Why?" He replied calmly. "I'm just too lazy. Even if I go, I'll just be treated like trash by the other guilds anyway." The girl was a bit disappointed. "Shul Gangrim, I even skipped the school picnic to come here. Is it because of those losers who are always terrified of you?" She put her hands on her hips. "Who are they? If I knew, I'd—" He sighed. "Are you even aware that I'm 10 years older than you?" She pouted angrily, "But you're weaker than me." Taehan stepped in to persuade him. "Everyone is already here, so you have to come too." Harang echoed. "That's right. If anyone dares to bully you, I'll beat them up." From behind, a voice rang out. "You Harang Gang Taehan Kang Do Hyun!" He strictly demanded, "I understand that you two want to chat with Shul Gangrim, but the mission is about to start. Both of you, back to your positions." Kang Do Hyun, class Human, rank 2, Flying Tiger Guild, she replied dejectedly. "Fine, coming." You didn't forget to remind him, "Hey, promise you'll come to the night party, okay?" Then both left. Shul Gangrim, "See you later." Do-hyun patted his shoulder. Seol Gangrim, take care of yourself, okay? He replied, the vanguard is the one in danger, I'm just in the back. He was worried. I'm still a little worried because you're not near me. He smiled gently. I'll be fine, thanks. After that, both went in opposite directions. I also hope I can fight alongside you. The megaphone announcement rang out. Special mission Demon Realm Raid is about to start. Groups, please seriously carry out your assigned tasks. Gangrim looked up seriously to listen. A strong light surrounded the space. He closed his eyes and whispered to himself, I just need to stay in the back and clean up the leftover demons. It'll be fine. I won't hurt anyone. He gripped his sword tightly. Right in front, there were many monsters. Monsters of high rank appeared. Vanguard groups, move out! Groups in the back were waiting at the entrance. Everyone was fired up and charged. The monsters opened their mouths wide. Do-hyun immediately attacked it. Taehan rushed over and swung his fist at it. Harang rode an animal and flew toward it. A monster crouched down. Sogus was preparing to summon. The groups, in the back, prepared to fight. It expanded its body. A series of things were shot out. The leader commanded, front groups, ignore the low-rank monsters and hold your positions! 3 monsters huddled together. Their eyes turned frighteningly red. Gangrim walked over and swung his sword. He continued to hold his sword high to fight. Blood splattered up to the tree branches. He stopped, gasping for breath. It's harder than I anticipated. We had gone too deep, so he was finding it hard to breathe because of the demon's influence. A monster ran at him from behind. I need to get out of here soon. It scratched a long line across his back. Other monsters seemed to be awakened and all looked at him. They rushed at him from every direction. The one from before pressed down on him, controlling him. Gangrim helplessly squeezed his eyes shut. Someone, a strong light appeared. Sin-sua quickly took care of the monsters. Everyone was extremely grateful. It was the guildmaster of the Flying Tiger Guild. She even helped the groups in the back. He also raised his hand and whispered, Thank you. She waved back. Sin-sua class. God rank 3. Guildmaster of the Flying Tiger Guild. Suddenly, rocks and dirt rained down. She looked towards that direction in surprise. Everyone panicked. What is it? Is it the boss? No, there's another. It's still a long way to the boss. Wait, a massive monster is growling. It's slowly advancing toward them. The boss is really here. All fire attribute hunters take the front line. Its eyes flash and it lets out a deafening roar. After a deep gash appears on its back, a fountain of blood erupts. Everyone nearby covers their eyes and faces as the dust and smoke fill the air. In the blinding haze, the monster collapses into a pool of blood. Reflected in the red puddle is the silhouette of a woman, Baek-hyang, radiating murderous intent. Where is Seol Gangrim? Everyone stares at her in silence. Someone wonders aloud, what on earth is happening? Who are you? Gangrim thinks, bewildered. Did that woman kill the boss all by herself? Why is she looking for him? Coldly, she raises her blade. She closes her eyes, whispers, Fine then, and swings her sword. The scene around them turns horrific. Those who were struck are already down, their blood splattering onto her expressionless face. Baek-hyang coldly declares, I only need to kill all of you, because Seol Gangrim is among you. Dust swirls thickly. Blood flows from the monster's corpse. Reflected in that pool of blood, Baek-hyang's figure stands amidst the smoke. Seol Gangrim, where are you? Gangrim stares down at the woman, terrified. Did she just kill this boss alone? Why is she coming after me? He hides in a tree, his body emitting a faint glow. Should I use Fate Discovery to check first? The system interface appears. Activate Fate Discovery ability. All information is retrieved. Baek-hyang, class minor god. This person's fate has been secured. He is shocked. A minor god? I've never seen that rank before. The system continues. Regression class minor god allows you to carry all memories. Back to the past. If you die, you cannot use this ability. He silently marvels at such a top-tier regression ability. I should just head down. Maybe she has information about me. Suddenly, a branch shoots out to block him. A voice echoes, Stay right there! He realizes it's telepathy. I shouldn't get involved in this place, he thinks. Sua steps out coldly, sword in hand. What do you want, Baek-hyang? As soon as she sees her, she interrogates her. Are you Seol Gangrim? She suggests. He is a member of my guild. You can negotiate with me. She closes her eyes. No need. Saying that, she swings her sword again, cutting down 2 more people. Their blood splatters onto her clothes and face. I just need to wipe you all out. She makes an assumption. Seol Gangrim is hiding among you. She is absolutely certain. I won't let any of you go. Sua grits her teeth and charges in to attack. Elsewhere, Gangrim is desperately trying to break through the giant branches. I'm the one that woman is looking for. He decides he should step out before it's too late. While hacking away, he yells, "Let me go, Shinsua!" Down below, everyone is panicking and fleeing from the murderer. "Everyone run!" The two women continue their fierce battle. Baekhyang coldly offers a condition. "I will spare their lives if you hand over Seo Gangrim." She refuses without a moment's hesitation. "I will not let you kill any member of my guild." She parries the strike, but is knocked back quite a distance. Sua coughs up blood, the pain causing her to wince. Baekhyang steps closer, sword raised to finish her off, but three people rush in from behind. She reacts sharply, spinning around to strike. She and Do-hyun clash. He is shocked as the sharp blade is right at his throat. Sua is lying there, heavily wounded. Suddenly, someone jumps down near her. Taehan furiously aims a punch at her face. "Damn you!" But his fist is quickly caught by her. After that, he screams in agony. A few others gather in one spot to observe. "Damn you! You're in my way!" Kyang stands right in front of them, radiating murderous intent. Gangrim's voice echoes, "Help!" He tries to stab his sword into the ground. "I have to get out of here." The same question echoes again. "Where is Seo Gangrim, huh?" Meanwhile, he finally succeeds in cutting through the branch. He encourages himself just a little more. He pants. "All right, okay." He immediately rushes out. Gangrim falls straight into the pool of fresh blood below. He pushes himself up with his hands, sitting up slowly. Horror fills his eyes. His comrades have all been defeated. Baekhyang slowly walks toward him. Still in shock, he stares at her. She walks past the bodies coldly. The brutal scene hits him hard. He turns pale with fear. I arrived too late. The feeling of loss and self-blame pours out through two streams of tears. I should have just been the one to die. Tears flow uncontrollably. This is all my fault. A person who only has the rank of an insect. Baekhyang keeps her icy expression. "You must be Seo Gangrim." Suddenly, Sua's large branches burst from the ground. She appears powerfully. "How dare you!" She reacts just in time to protect her guild member. She speaks up. "I don't understand." Baekhyang looks at her indifferently. "If you had just handed over Seo Gangrim, you could have saved the others." Then she stabs her sword through Sua. She struggles to explain. "The duty of a guildmaster is to protect," Sua says loudly, her hand still gripping tightly onto her wrist. "A guild member." A flash of light appears. Gangrim helplessly watches her get stabbed. The barrier has been broken. Oh, his tears stream down. A thought flashes through his mind. "I'm going to die." He has clearly grasped the situation. He cannot defeat her. He stares at her fixedly. "I will also be killed by her. She came here to kill me. I should have been the only one to die, but why?" His eyes turn toward Sua. The one who died is Shinsua. The familiar system interface appears. "Examine corpse in the area." He sees it as his last chance. "Do you wish to use the ability Steal Fate?" Gangrim glares at her, filled with resentment. The system asks carefully, "Activate ability? Steal Fate." Using this ability will accumulate karma. There are currently 421 corpses in the area. Whose fate do you wish to steal? He angrily bites his lip until it bleeds. His eyes blaze with light. All 421 people. Now his aura has completely changed. The system updates, checking which fates can be stolen. "It's all because of that person with the insect class fate." Gangrim closes his eyes tight, filled with regret. "Your magic level is too low, only extracting a portion of the fate. How many people have died because of me?" After a moment of checking, he receives the result. Due to too many targets, random fate extraction. Painful memories come flooding back. They were right. Your magic has increased after absorbing a portion of the target's magic. You have obtained the power White Flower Bloom. You will bring death wherever you go. You have obtained the power Stealth. Along with these are beautiful memories. Your water attribute stamina has increased. Who dares to bother my brothers? I'll deal with that person. Don't worry, no one is kinder than him. You have obtained the power Heavenly Weight. You have obtained the power Airwalking. Gangrim clutches his head, dizzy. My fate has killed everyone. It's all my fault. A voice rings out. You have an interesting fate. He looks up with hollow eyes. You have obtained the power Wooden Leaf Technique. Baekhyang coldly. Lung shouted, Die! And the system confirmed, you have successfully stolen the destiny of 421 people. Immediately after, he swung his blade hard at her body. This is all your fault! She couldn't help but be shocked and quickly retreated. Gangrim told himself he could not. Let things end like this. The two clashed in battle. I must take revenge on this woman before I die. The master swordsmanship ability was activated. Her figure was reflected clearly in his eyes. Hawkeye ability activated. He didn't hesitate and charged forward. Reflection ability activated. He landed another strike before she could react. Golden Buddha ability activated. Becky Ann countered immediately after. Steel body ability activated. His body took several sword strikes. Pain resistance ability activated. He leaped upward. Airwalk ability activated. He gripped his sword tight, aiming straight for her. Heavenly weight ability activated. He seized the opportunity as she left an opening. She looked back, her eyes glowing intensely, and a massive source of power descended. Ice Soul Summoning ability activated. Gangrim coughed up a mouthful of blood. He was slammed hard into the ground. Furious, he clenched his fists. Damn it! Even with these powers, I don't know how to use them. His sword was broken. Luckily, some abilities could activate automatically, but I cannot unleash the full power of these abilities with this body and weapon. He reassessed the situation. Even though I've stolen the destiny of 421 people, I still can't get my revenge. Another attack aimed at him. Gangrim squeezed his eyes shut. If only I understood how to use these powers. Suddenly he had an idea. That's right, there is one power that I understand best. One of Becky Ann's weapons was embedded in his leg. Painfully, he fell and tried to pull it out. He squinted at her. She smirked mockingly. It's useless, Cell Gangrim. You are fated to die. Using all his strength, he pulled the fragment out, his gaze unwavering. I've been watching for many years. He summoned a series of Sua's branches. If it's this ability, he launched the large branches straight at her. Then I understand it well enough. Woodleaf technique ability activated. Becky Ann suddenly raised her sword to block it. Gangrim started to analyze. Compared to before, she was trying to slash through each branch one by one. I thought he was just a swordsman, but he's quite proficient in magic, isn't he? She launched a massive slash, however, the magic was such that all the branches were severed. She thought this would make it hard for him to maintain it. At that exact moment, Gangrim lunged from behind her. He raised the weapon she had used earlier and stabbed her directly. Time seemed to slow down. Her blood spurted out. Becky Ann slowly fell. He wore a smile of victory, and then he too followed. Momentum and fell. I killed her! I got my revenge! Both of them slumped to the ground at once. Gangrim clutched his wounds, exhausted. I killed Becky Ann. He coughed up more blood. It's over! But then, the wounds on his body began to heal. System update. Regeneration ability activated. He sat up and demanded, Don't activate it! The system stopped immediately. The ability activation process was cancelled. He had fallen into despair. What's the point of living? Gangrim tried to smile, but tears had already gathered in the corners of his eyes. He struggled to stand up. It doesn't change anything anyway. The past, even the present. There's nothing left. He recalled childhood words as they came flooding back. Your destiny is tied to perseverance and death. You will be orphaned from a young age, and your life will be full of misfortune. Fragmented memories were pieced together exactly as he had said. My parents passed away before I could grow up. He blamed himself. Wherever I go, disaster follows. He talked to himself, internally. Everyone around me encounters bad luck. I was fated to be miserable and weak. Familiar faces appeared, and yet they still welcomed me. They died because of me. His hands were stained with blood. If only I had found... Becky Yang first. If only I had been the first to die. If I had done that, how good would it have been? Gangrim closed his eyes. If only I could turn back time. Suddenly, he remembered. Wait, the system signaled. Power, regression, class demigod. You can carry all current memories back to the past. If you are dead, you cannot... Use it. His eyes lit up slightly. Destiny theft ability activated. Regressive power acquired. He thought to himself, I don't know which timeline I will return to. But finally, the system's voice rang out. Regression ability activated. He told himself, even if I go back to the very moment Becky Ann appears, I will still face her. He was full of anticipation. So please, lines of text appeared. Activating, regression success. He slammed his hand down on the table. The space around him returned to normal. Gangrim opened his eyes wide in confusion. The living room was quiet. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The person outside opened the door and stepped in. Hello, I'm here to get my fortune told. Hearing that, he turned sharply. His hands couldn't help but tremble. His lips curled up. Sua appeared uninjured along with someone else. Hello? He was overjoyed. "I'm back!" Just as he entered the house, the guy bragged, "We finally had our first date. I'm looking forward to seeing how compatible we are." Sua's face was incredibly beautiful. She wasn't wearing a mask. He stared at her intently, thinking, I really am back. Sua is still alive and hasn't lost her eyes yet. He put the file folder down. "Is that so? I won't let something like that happen again." Gangrim handed them a paper and a pen. "If you have it, please write your name, age, and time of birth here." The guy happily handed the paper back to him. "Done." "There." But she sighed. "Huh?" She didn't seem very comfortable. He remembered, now that he recalled, she once told him she got involved with a weirdo. "I need to be sure. She's ahead of her time." Then he received the 2 papers. "Let me check the compatibility of you two." He started reading their horoscopes. "It seems your element is metal and yours is wood." He concluded, "This type of fortune-telling is called metal cuts wood." He explained enthusiastically, "This is a bad omen because an axe might chop the tree down." Both of them were shocked. "What?" Sua seemed very happy. "Is that so? I guess we have no choice, since our connection is very bad." But Seong-hoon got annoyed. "Are you kidding? What the hell do you think you're doing? The owner here—" "Where is he?" He pointed. "He's at the counter." The guy frowned and demanded, "Sua, let's go. I don't trust this guy." She lingered. "I want to hear more about my destiny. This person is very skilled." The guy was shaking with anger. "You'll regret this. Do you think a woman like you can meet someone as great?" "Despite my efforts, she wouldn't even spare me a glance. It seems like she has no intention of seeing you. I'll ask you to leave for his sake." He got even angrier, slammed the door shut, and thought, "It's best if I don't try to find her." Once again, I quietly watched the door close just now. She spoke up. "I thought places like this were only supposed to contain good things in life." He replied, "Usually that's true. Sorry, she was much friendlier in my past life." "A suggestion, it seems you're quite talented. Could you tell my fortune as well?" He immediately agreed, "Oh, sure." Suddenly, his attitude shifted, and a flash of light streaked through the space. Everything turned chaotic. "Your stats are being calculated based on your destiny." Gangrim stumbled, clutching his head. Even though I knew it would happen, I guess I couldn't avoid it. Shaking and dizzy, she asked, "What are you doing?" She hurriedly tapped the table, signaling him to hide underneath. "Get down!" Then Sua grabbed his hand and pulled him down. In the past life, Sua protected him too. Both of them crawled under the table. Focus. "Don't you think you can change the future?" The space slowly returned to normal. She looked around, bewildered. He gently pulled away while she was still wondering. What was that strange notification just now? Destiny? Stats? Then she realized he was leaving. "Wait for me!" I thought it was best not to get involved with Shin Sua. He walked out of the room. Gangrim looked around anxiously. "I hope there's something good here." He reached out happily. Just then, Sua stepped forward. "Where are you going?" He hurriedly hid the item. "Leaving." She grabbed his sleeve. "We have to evacuate quickly." She dragged him along. "Wait!" Suddenly a shrill cry rang out, a scream. People outside came rushing in. "Run! Monsters!" She was confused. "Huh? Monsters?" A giant worm bit someone's leg. "Get away from me! Help me!" The bitten area immediately began bleeding. Sua panicked. "Wait, I can't help you!" Gangrim calmly drew his knife and decisively sliced it in half. The corner of his mouth curled up. I knew they would appear. The remaining worms crawled over. Giant insect-type worm, level 3. A large worm that usually eats grass, but now will eat both animals and humans. He bravely rushed in to exterminate them. "Everyone, run to a safe place." One by one, they were taken down. Gangrim grabbed the head of one. "This is the last one." He spun around when he heard a scream. "Help me! There are more over there!" He ordered. "If you don't want to die, everyone grab something. These bugs aren't that strong." He suddenly paused. Sua was holding a fire extinguisher covered in blue fluid. She smiled brightly. "They're actually really weak compared to how they look. I even took one down myself." Everyone was astonished. "What?" He smiled gently. "It's nothing." Watching someone capable of slaying dragons be this happy was truly funny. Gangrim led everyone. "Now up to the floor above. It's safe now. We should head down before they appear again." Then they left one by one. "Thank you." He rummaged through something inside the worm's belly. "I need to collect the spirit orbs while I have the chance." He pulled out many orbs. "Even though they are low level, there are still more than I thought." Sua was curious. "Hey, why haven't you gone down yet?" He quickly stowed the orbs into his bag. "Why haven't you left yet?" She replied. "I can't just leave you alone." He asked, "You're worried about someone you just met yesterday." She sighed. Yeah, I guess so. He reached out toward her. Even if you don't know what else might happen, it's dangerous. She stayed firm, she explained. That's why we should... He cut her off. Shin Sua, that's exactly why I need to tell you. His expression turned serious. I have something I need to tell you. Sua was a bit confused. What is it? He rested his hand and tilted his head. Name, Shin Sua, class Dragon Path Level 3. She heard that string of information and was baffled. Wait, what are you saying? He continued. Your attribute is wood, and you possess an ability called Wood Leaf Technique. Immediately after, the window of destiny appeared right in front of her. He saw it and asked, Did the window of destiny just open? She looked at it in surprise. The window of destiny? I'm seeing something, and I see the ability Wood Leaf Technique, too. He raised a finger, recalling, Do you remember the notification? We were right in the room. That strange notification. It seems we have received superpowers. He thought to himself, Since we have awakened, we won't die unless we encounter that. Gangrim reminded her, Let's go down. They both followed the railing downward. Hey, what is your destiny? He warned, It's better if we don't tell each other the contents of the window of destiny that we possess. He looked back, as if others could read it. Sua replied, Okay. He fell into deep thought. My window of destiny is still the same as it was 5 years ago. I couldn't keep the powers I stole in my past life. The window of destiny remained the same. Cell Gangrim, Class Insect Level 3, Attribute Fire. Its functions also appeared. Investigate Destiny, Brutality Level 3. You can steal a portion of the target's destiny and make it your own. However, your karma will increase when doing so. He continued his train of thought. There's only one thing that changed the system. Conclusion. You currently possess a large amount of karma points. He lowered his head. This seems to be the result of stealing the destiny of 421 people. If I want to change the future, I need to use the power to steal destiny, but receiving too many karma points right now is not good. Gangrim returned to his thoughts. Karma points increase when committing a major sin such as murder, or I will steal your destiny when a special ability is used. But there is one thing. If the karma points are too high, the target will cross the boundary. The two of them were still shining their lights to find the way. Those who have gone outside the boundary must suffer terribly. Sua spoke up. Wait, I think there's someone here. A hidden figure appeared in the hallway. That person was wrapped up completely, so it was impossible to tell who it was. She kindly ran over. I will help you! He hurriedly stopped her. Wait! A giant worm lunged from behind the person. Gangrim held his knife and stabbed it straight through. It was quickly finished. Good, there was only one. She was curious. Is there someone in there? His hand slowly touched the person's body, then it glowed. The easiest way to check if they are still alive is the system. It immediately appeared. Destiny stealing ability has been activated. He shook his head. Currently, the number of people around has decreased by 1. They are dead. He intently read the window of destiny. It seems they had a powerful ability. If they had awakened, they would have lived. Written on it was Fire Control, Class, Insect Level 3. You can summon and control a small flame. The user can attack targets from a distance if they are still in range. A flame hovered over his hand. I will take it. The system recorded his decision. You have received the fire control ability. Completion also comes with consequences. Penalty. You have received karma points. Gangrim happily clenched his fist. Perfect! I need abilities like these. Sua. She was lucky there was only one and she was killed off quickly. Curious if anyone was still inside, his hand reached out and touched the body, which then began to glow. The easiest way to check if they're still alive is the system immediately popped up. Fate stealing ability activated. He shook his head. The current number of people around was 1. They were dead. He stared intensely at the fate window. It seems they had a powerful ability. If they had awakened, they would have survived. It was written there. Firebird, a rank 3 insect-type job. You can summon and control a small flame. Users can attack targets from a long distance as long as they are within range. A flame hovered above his hand. I'll take it. The system acknowledged his decision. Decision accepted. You have received the Firebird ability. It also comes with consequences. Penalty, you have received karma points. Gangrim gripped his hand happily. Perfect. This is exactly the kind of power I need. Swa? Charging forward, he noticed something up ahead. The giant worm's blood splattered everywhere. Dogojun fired up, hacked away at its body with his weapon. Haha, is this new tutorial guide really this easy? He confidently challenged it. Let's take down the boss. Suddenly, he realized the giant worm's body parts were flying toward the other two. He shouldered his weapon and walked over to the survivors. "Hey," he asked, probing. "Are you two the ones who are supposed to be my teammates?" Gangrim, on guard, reached out to shield Sua. Contrary to his expectations, the guy was incredibly friendly, extending his hand. "I'm Dogojun. It's really nice to meet you both," he realized. "That's right, this is his starting point too." He replied politely, "I'm Seo Gangrim." He tilted his head. "And this heroine here?" She stammered, confused. "Heroine? I'm Sinsua." He shook hands with Seo Gangrim and Sinsua. "Great, I'll remember that. Now once the team-up event is over, it's going to start—" "Start what?" she asked, bewildered. He explained vaguely, "Not every game's tutorial follows the same process, you know." His fate window popped up. Dokgo-yun, class, divine, rank 3, attribute, metal, fate, rank, dreamer, holy type, level 1. The boundary between dreams and reality becomes blurred. The user will be less affected by demonic energy. Intelligence, pain resistance, and fear resistance will be adjusted. Then, the Dragon Map System Level 1 appeared. Gangrim's face darkened as he looked down at Dogojun. He's going to become the leader of one of the 5 great sects soon. However, looking at the giant worms lying scattered about, he saw this even though he hadn't awakened yet. Gojun expanded on the issue. "Didn't you two also take down the boss with your teammates? Or do you get a strong teammate in the middle of the battle or something like that?" He patted his shoulder. "Wake up! Thanks to the sacrifice of those teammates." He silently assessed the situation. "I know he's a famous novelist, but he's a bit too delusional." Then all three looked in one direction as a scream rang out. A man ran over in a panic. "Save me!" A giant worm monster was chasing him. Giant worm, insect type, level 1. A monster formed from a mass of many insects. It will be killed if all the other insects are taken down. It shares the same eating habits as the regular giant worms. The man tripped and fell right onto the pile of worms. Terror was written all over his face. Sua watched in shock as everything unfolded, and then the man's blood began to flow. Gojun speculated. "Looks like that's the boss we have to defeat in the prologue, huh?" Gangrim quickly stood in front. She advised, "You want to kill that thing? We have to run now." He launched a massive flame forward, and the giant worm was hit by the magical attack. "Ugh, I knew I could count on you." He looked at him. "What do you think? Can we kill it?" He answered bluntly. "No." He stated, "At this moment, we can't kill that thing." Gangrim explained, "I can only hold it off with fire for now, so not—" Before he could finish his sentence, it broke free from the flames and lunged at them. He stood his ground, ordering the other two to run. Then he ran after them, not forgetting to cast a spell to try and control it. He realized his attack wasn't working. The other two ran in front, he ran in the middle, and the giant worm was in the back. A huge explosion occurred right as he ran away from it. Sua called out anxiously, "Seo Gangrim!" She urged, "Hurry, come here!" Gojun grabbed her wrist and pulled her along. "Don't stop, Sinsua!" She irritably demanded, "Wait, let go of me!" The giant worm slowly crawled toward him. He was dazed again. "Seo Gangrim!" The giant worm crawled toward Gangrim. The other two called out worriedly, "Seo Gangrim!" The call immediately drew its attention. He quickly diverted its focus. "Where are you looking?" A wave of fire flew straight toward it. "You shouldn't take your eyes off me." He jumped out of the explosion, assessing where this monster came from. "I'll have to buy more time." The other two had already run. Outside, "Seo Gangrim, I will never forget this sacrifice of yours. Wait, let's go!" He encouraged himself. "I can do this. I just need to hold out." Until the Fate Protection Agency arrives. Gangrim fell to the ground. I didn't expect to only deal a little bit of damage to it. Its huge, wide-open mouth began to glow. This gave him an idea. "Right, what if it's its mouth?" He launched fire straight into its maw. "Will it work?" The giant worm shuddered and collapsed. Its blood-red eyes flashed with a spark. It started approaching him again. I guess not. Now what? Suddenly, a long wooden stake flew straight into its head. Sua appeared carrying a bundle of wood. "Hurry, run!" He was surprised. "Sin Sua!" Immediately, a swarm of giant worms lunged at her. She struggled to block them with the wooden stake. Gangrim reminded her, "Hurry, use wood leaf magic!" She looked back and replied, "I can't. I need plants around here," he suggested. "I'm sure those pieces of wood will work too." Thanks to that, she realized. She placed the wooden stakes on the ground and they sprouted. She focused on unleashing a greater power. Then those trees simultaneously surged straight toward the giant worm. The two of them watched nervously, not waiting for another second to see the result. She grabbed his hand. "Hurry!" Suddenly, Sua's eyes widened in shock. The giant worms weren't dead, they were even more aggressive. They crawled along the branches toward them. She fell to the ground in terror. "That's it, it's over," she blamed herself, tears falling. "I came here to save Gangrim." Gangrim spoke up. "The trees will be fodder for the fire." The system announced, "The fates of Seo Gangrim and Sin Sua are merging." She stopped crying. Sin Sua's fate is fueling life into Seo Gangrim's fate. He quickly launched fire toward the tree. Branches, causing them to flare up. The system board appeared. Firepower is evolving from insect level 3 to insect level 1. He panted, observing everything carefully. "Our power is based on the Bazi of fate. The logic of the Bazi of fate is applied to the battle." He thought, exhausted and sweating, "The trees give life to the fire. The worms were burned to ashes. You have defeated the giant worm level 1. The system kept working, calculating achievements. Sua saw this and cheered. "We did it!" She asked anxiously. "Seo Gangrim, are you okay?" He smiled weakly. "Yeah, I'm fine." "You have received an additional reward for defeating a stronger opponent." Afterwards, she helped him get out of there. "This is the first floor. The exit is still safe." He was anemic due to mana depletion. She gripped the doorknob. "We finally made it out!" Just as the door opened, a gust of wind rushed in. The space behind the door was pitch black. Sua was extremely confused. "Where are we?" A beam of green light enveloped them. "This building must be in the city center, though." Gangrim keenly noticed the totem pole in the lobby. "I didn't expect the first floor to connect to this place." The statue emitted power. Totem pole, Dragon Map System, Level 3. A totem pole containing overwhelming and perfecting energy. It heals those who come near. "Where am I?" A green light enveloped them. "This building must be in the city center." Gangrim, being sharp-eyed, noticed the totem pole in the lobby. "I didn't expect the first floor to connect to a place like this." The statue radiated light. Totem, Rank 3, Dragon Map Totem. A totem that contains overwhelming, perfected energy. It heals those who approach it. The monsters and the barrier keeping them from the door vanished, catching her off guard. She felt a deep sense of unease. "What are we supposed to do now?" He answered calmly. "We rest first. At least there are no monsters here right now." Suddenly, Gojun walked out. "How are you guys still alive, Sua?" As soon as she saw him, she couldn't hide her anger. He rubbed his chin. "How strange. The hero. So you left me again, Sua?" She pointed at him, frustrated. "Hero? Don't make me laugh. You're a criminal, a villain who betrayed his friends just to save his own skin. You did everything, no matter what." He stood there, stunned. "What? Are you—" He clutched his head in denial. "No, that can't be." But it was true. Still, he couldn't be a villain. Gangrim broke the tension. "He's even worse than before. Sua, over here." Everyone else was panicking. "Where are we? We just had monsters attacking us." They were bewildered. "My wounds are healing." "Wait, my wounds?" Everyone was in an uproar. Someone turned on their phone. "No service. It's just broken." Everything fell into chaos. "Is it safe here? Is it?" Everyone was terrified. "Fire? No!" No one knew what was going on. Suddenly, someone appeared on a podium. She began to speak. "It seems everyone from this sector is here." She introduced herself formally. "I am Anavi Chasia, from the branch headquarters of the Fate Protection Agency." She looked at everyone. "From now on, Her eyes glowed brightly. "It will be managing you all here." Everyone was confused. "What? What is the Fate Protection Agency?" They all protested in unison. "Manage us? What are you talking about?" "This is kidnapping! Let us go right now!" "What the hell is this supposed to mean?" Gangrim was different. He already knew all of this. "This is the true beginning. I was a failure in my past life." He clenched his fists. "But this time will be different. I will become as strong as possible before leaving this place." Everyone was deeply confused. "What? What is the Fate Protection Agency?" Anavi Chasia answered their questions. "Our job is to protect citizens from the catastrophes that are coming." Everyone still didn't believe her. "Manage us? What the hell are you talking about? How is this any different from kidnapping? Let us go." They all condemned her. "What the hell is this supposed to mean?" She ignored them and continued. "The demon realm will open—" "Yeah, in a few seconds." They interrupted her. "So the insects from earlier were released by you guys too, right?" She continued. "The director's prophetic ability, the space is extremely chaotic. Oh, mankind. I'm going to sue you. Let me out." Gojun gritted his teeth. He couldn't take it anymore and shouted, "Shut up, you ignorant mob!" Everyone immediately turned their attention toward him. He berated them. "Don't you see this is a rare opportunity? You idiots, that's why you'll always be background characters." Gangram thought to himself, he's the same as always, but he's right. He glanced at him. Being chosen for this is a privilege. Anavi sighed. I think showing you the current situation outside will be faster. Everyone, please sit down calmly. She snapped her fingers, and a screen flickered to life. On the screen was live footage of Seoul. Outside, a horrific massacre was taking place. Portals to another dimension, the demon realm, had opened nationwide. The image of a giant worm was magnified. Monsters were pouring out from the demon realm. The Fate Protection Agency had predicted the catastrophe. That's why a few years ago we Chasia, those wearing masks like her, began to awaken powers. Everyone watched as they used various abilities to exterminate them and began preparing for this day. She spread her arms. However, in this chaotic world, we need more awakeners. We summoned you here because we believe your potential surpasses that of those who haven't awakened yet. We will help you awaken and become stronger under the management of the agency. Anavi pulled out a talisman and burned it. If you want, you can leave here, but please check what your power is before deciding. After that, you might change your mind. A window of fate appeared. Cell Gangram, 3rd tier insect class, attribute fire, ability fate, exploration fate theft. Fire, everyone, you're all surprised, right? That is your power. 1st tier human class, what is that? Gangram, however, was already familiar with this. He was quite sure of his own thoughts. This definitely wasn't Anavi's power. He wanted to explore Anavi's fate, but she was wearing a mask. Anavi continued to guide them. You've seen your powers. You can think of them as supernatural abilities or magic. She explained that awakeners would use their powers to hunt monsters. She spoke in great detail. Attacking the demon realm to eliminate the threat is a very dangerous job. When performing missions, she coldly affirmed, you might die. Everyone looked at her in fear. During the process of training as well, if you want to avoid danger and be protected, Anavi stated clearly, you must give up your powers. Someone without the will to fight cannot possess power. She clapped her hands. I will give you exactly 1 hour to think. The space will gradually blur. You can rest on the 2nd floor. We will provide instruction manuals. You should read them. After 1 hour, those who want to stay, come back here. Beams of light enveloped everyone. Those who do not want to stay can leave through the emergency exit. On the 3rd floor, as I said, once you leave, you will never be able to see your window of fate again. With that, Anavi turned and walked away. See you later. She looked at the clock. It's time. I will assume those who have returned here have agreed to participate in the training. A door slowly opened. This is the first trial. Everyone turned toward it. The door looked incredibly mysterious. A maximum of 3 people can enter at once. If you complete the challenge and step out of this portal, the trial will end. Here! She explained the rules. Each room has a different mission to clear. You can check the requirements once you're inside. A dummy showed a description. Eliminate monsters, fewer than 6 Anavi. Continued. The first trial has no limit on the number of attempts. But if you leave without completing the mission, you will have to start the mission over from the beginning. Then she took out a small box. This is an item box provided for everyone. You just need to take 1 box and proceed to the supply center. She introduced, if you are injured, you can use healing items or return to the waiting room to use the healing totem. She carefully reminded them, we want you to sign an agreement stating that the agency, the protection service won't be held responsible if you die. Of course, we'll try our best to support you so that the worst-case scenario doesn't happen. She then bowed her head. Good luck. The space fell silent. One person bravely raised their hand and asked, does anyone want to team up with me? My ability is a Tier 1 insect class. Gangram silently watched. Anyone want to join? He just walked away from the crowd. My class is, he commented, just like a recruitment fair. Sua called out to him, Hey, Seo Gangram! She ran after him. Back at the building, she expressed her gratitude. Thanks, by the way. She scratched her head, looking awkward. You don't have a group yet, right? I don't either. Sua reached out, offering, Do you want to team up with me? He stood there, stunned, looking at her. Hey, Seo Gangram! He just stared at her blankly, which made her feel flustered. Gangram bit his lip, his hands trembling. Thanks? Why do those terrifying memories have to come flooding back? Only when Seo Gangram dies can everyone else survive? He desperately clutched his head. It's all my fault. Sua asked worriedly. Are you not feeling well somewhere? He covered his face and pushed her away. I'm fine. Having said that, he turned away decisively. I refuse. He looked back at her one last time. Gangrim deliberately added, Going alone will make me more comfortable. Hearing that, she looked quite sad. Oh, I see. Well, I thought you and I, Seo Gangrim, would make a good team. He reassured her. Shinsua. Sua, you'll cooperate well with others. She was boosted by the encouragement. Then she shouted, Seo Gangrim! Even if we can't hunt together, I still want us to look out for each other. He didn't look back and walked coldly straight ahead. The billboard was placed in a corner. The sword component. Training, HP recovery potion, mana recovery potion. Gangrim slowly opened the supply box. His gear immediately appeared. Training sword class. Tier 1 insect class, HP recovery potion ×2, mana recovery potion ×2. He strapped the sword to his waist. It's very hard to collect items in the early stages, so being a trainee isn't too bad, is it? HP recovery potions are expensive, yet they keep giving them to trainees. Gojun waved his hand, calling out, Shogangrim, wait. He smiled brightly. You shouldn't leave your only friend behind, should you? He felt awkward. Huh? My previous life didn't have this happen? He pretended not to hear. He ran up and patted him on the shoulder. Seo Gangrim, wait up, he replied. What is it? He suggested, if things keep progressing like this, the two of us will be the main characters of this story, so let's clear the first stage together, okay? Gangrim shook his head coldly. I prefer going alone, he insisted. Don't worry. I'm different from those side characters who just hold people back. He confidently smoothed his hair. I'm strong. I'm the main character. Main character? Side character? Extra? Dago Jun classified people as if they were characters in a novel. He recalled main character? In my previous life, he treated me like a mediocre extra. I think he misunderstood that I was a strong person. He rubbed his chin, thinking carefully. Having a strong companion is quite comfortable. Swa. It's very strong, but if she stays near me, she'll encounter bad luck. So I don't want her to come along. Then what about Dago Jun? He became lost in his thoughts. Dago Jun. Getting into trouble wouldn't be a problem, right? Gojun spoke up. What are you thinking about? Have you changed your mind? He replied, all right, let's go together. He was surprised. Really? Then he ran back to the old spot to grab the box. Wait a moment for me, I'll go get the supply box. Gojun just took the box right from the pet's hands. Is this the supply box? I also wanted to talk more with a pet like you, but let's chat later, okay? Sua looked at him with annoyance. Why are you looking at me like that? He mocked. Because you're not the main character. Ah! She just went silent. Then he excitedly left. Seo Gangrim, I'm done getting it. Let's go. The door glowed. I can feel the presence of death. I can feel the presence of the bone demon. Both of them went together and pushed the door open to step inside. Seo Gangrim and Dago Jun had entered. You have entered the Mountain of Blades in the underworld. The rules were announced. All rooms are connected by 4 corridors. There will be monsters, traps, and safe zones in each room and corridor. Find the exit and leave. System notification. The first stage, Mountain of Blades in the underworld, begins. Gangrim reminded him, so the mission to clear? The stage is to find the exit. Gojun was excited. Great, let's get started. He looked around. I'm wondering, is its structure the same as my previous life? This path. He was curious. Monsters and traps, huh? I wonder what will appear. He wasn't paying attention to his surroundings at all. I'm waiting. A blade shot out straight at him, causing him to tumble over. Gojun wasn't afraid at all, but rather a bit happy. So? This is a trap, nothing new at all? He grinned. But I like these classic styles. He propped himself up to stand. Hey, Seo Gangrim, let's go together. The walls are all lit with torches. He praised. Are there no more traps now? It seems like you're quite lucky. Seo Gangrim immediately denied it. No, I'm very unlucky. The two discussed. Huh? I think I hear something. Did you share the experience points already? Yeah, I did that when I read the guidebook. A lot of demons were gathering ahead. Tier 3 insect class bone demons. They are monsters made of human bones. They crave human blood and flesh. They don't have sharp hearing but are sensitive to light. Gojun was ready to fight. They look stronger than the insects. After being trained, they'll probably be even stronger. He looked back. There are quite a lot of them, but if we join forces, Gangrim cast fire towards them. One bone demon was incinerated. The others simultaneously turned to look at them. Then they followed each other away. The entrance is quite small. If they gather here, they won't have a way out. He exclaimed, Seo Gangrim, you're truly a smart character, aren't you? He drew his sword. If you keep talking nonsense like that, go back home. Both of them started fighting the bone demons. Gangrim thrust his blade deep into the wall, took momentum, and kicked the bone demon's head. Gojun arrogantly rushed in. I won't let you take the lead. Both joined forces to wipe them out. He happily held his sword high. That felt great. After a while, all the bone demons were destroyed. Seo Gangrim. Room after room we come to, there are demons. He complained, it's getting more and more boring. I think we've killed over 100 of them. He asked, are you tired? He sheathed his sword. Not really. These monsters aren't that strong. I learned how to use a sword to fight just in case I suddenly transmigrated or fell into a book. He wondered, Seo Gangrim, honestly speaking, when I first saw you, I was always curious about one thing. He looked at him coldly. What thing? He leaned into his ear. He whispered, perhaps you are a regressor, a reincarnator, a traveler, or something like that. Gangrim was hit right in the bullseye and froze. He warned, if you keep talking nonsense, go somewhere else, please. He smiled brightly. I think I guessed right, huh? He pushed his back. Stop wasting time and let's go. Lead the way. He whispered, maybe you're a regressor, a reincarnator, a traveler, or something like that. Gangrim froze, hit right in the bullseye. He warned, if you keep spouting nonsense like that, get lost. He smiled brightly. I think I guessed right, didn't I? He pushed his back to stop wasting time. Let's go. Lead the way. He's still messing with me. I'm not joking. You know you're quite unique, right, Dokojun? He just keeps going, always eerily calm and adaptable. Unbelievably fast, and he isn't even afraid of ghosts. I avoid his gaze, scrambling for an excuse. I used to see spirits when I was a kid, so I'm just used to it. He replies, oh, really? Well, that makes me curious about your past. He suggests I tell him, but before he can finish, I push him hard toward the front. The floor shatters, and Gangrim falls right with it. He's startled. Seo Gangrim! He warns me sternly. Run! I quickly scramble outside, looking back at the chaos left behind. He seems worried about Seo Gangrim, but then he coldly turns away. Isn't he the protagonist? He thinks. He just walks off like that. I like the story, but this whole regression plot, it feels pretty unlucky. What's going to happen to the story now? Elsewhere, Gangrim falls into a mysterious place. He carefully draws his sword, staying on guard, and he stabs his blade into the wall, managing to land safely. The system announces, you have entered a secret area. His lips curl up. Warning, monsters in this secret area are much stronger than those in normal zones. Gangrim looks around. Every path is rigged with traps or monsters you have to face. The path back to the normal area has been activated, but once you go back, the secret path will be sealed. He bravely steps forward. You may request rescue. Do you want to give up and turn back? Time to request rescue. 2 minutes and 58 seconds. As if I'd ever give up like that. A whole pack of bone demons gathered in one spot. Maybe I'll get more stats than I expected. He summons a flame. Man, I'm so grateful for tagging along with Dokojun and getting into all these monster rooms. I need this chance to grow on my own. Swa might be a different story later. He raises his hand, focusing on them. The bone demons charge at Gangrim in unison. He takes them down one by one. Your stats have increased by 10. Your stats have increased by 10. The bones of the demons litter the ground. Your strength has increased to stage 4. After using the stat points, he's wiped them all out. Your strength has increased to stage 5. After using the stat points, he steps over the remains. Everything is so much easier now compared to when I first started leveling up my stats. I can't believe I'm getting this many points. System update. Seo Gangrim, strength, stage 5, stamina, stage 4, agility, stage 4, sense, stage 4, magic, stage 3. He rubs his chin, wondering just how strong they'll get. No matter the stats, everyone starts at stage 1. Gangrim thinks carefully. The difference between each stage is just the time and effort needed to reach the next. Cute illustrations pop up. Even if you receive the same amount of experience, your growth rate is higher if you're in a better class. He continues his line of thought. Someone in a divine class like Dokojun will grow stronger and faster. Ever since I started dragging him around, he's definitely become much stronger than before. Did I really take 3 whole days in my previous life? Congratulations, you are the first to clear the mountain of knives of the underworld. Gangrim looks for something. This time I'm the first to claim the clear reward. First one? Oh, there it is. He slowly reaches out his hand to pull this off. He thinks to himself, I need to get everything done before the day is out. In front of him is a deep, dark tunnel. Looks like it's time to face the boss. He lifts his head, observing. It's safe to say, this place is different from the rest of this location. A bead of sweat rolls down his cheek. It feels like I'm actually in the Mountain of Knives now. Gangrym creates a flame to light the way. Red and blue lights wrap around his swords. Two monsters appear, the husband and wife generals of the Mountain of Knives, human rank. Stage 3. These monsters are masters of swordsmanship. They move as if they are one. Unless you defeat them both at the same time, they will just keep regenerating. He hides behind a door. They're the husband and wife generals. I knew it. Seeing them this close up is completely different. I can't stop my body from trembling. Damn it, stop shaking already. The husband and wife generals have spotted him at this moment. He's ready too. I can take them out if I follow the plan. One swings its sword at him. Gangrym doesn't fall behind and counters. It lets out a painful howl and Gangrym uses the chance to escape. I knew they'd come for me first. At least I have to draw their attention. He looks back to track their movements. Since their attribute is gold, it seems fire attribute attacks will work well. He's calculated everything carefully. I'll buy myself some more time with that hit. The blood of the husband and wife generals splatters. The other one just cut its head off. The system explains this phenomenon, unless destroyed. Simultaneously, they will continue to regenerate. He's surprised. Them killing each other to regenerate is hard to predict. Gangrym grips his hilt tight. Fighting head-on is meaningless. Agility has increased to stage 7 after using stat points. Blades appear, slicing his arm and cheek, but he keeps running. Almost there, suddenly he trips over a bone demon's remains and, because of that, he falls. Both of them have already appeared in front of him. He desperately fires 2 blasts of fire. The one that was attacked earlier uses the same method to save its partner. They chase him frantically. The husband and wife generals are regenerating. Gangrym is secretly relieved. Perfect! I hear the wind. He speeds up, running. Even faster. It keeps chasing him, too. The system updates constantly. Husband and wife generals are recovering. 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 The husband and wife generals bare their terrifying fangs. The system continues. Strength has increased to stage 7 after using stat points. He launches a kick right at it, then leaps up and smashes it, making it drop its sword. Go for it, he commands. With those words, it's defeated. Lines of system text appear. Classification, stage 3. Husband and wife generals have been defeated. Your rewards are being calculated. Gangrym sits down heavily on the ground. You have received additional stat points for defeating enemies stronger than you. He wipes the sweat off. All I need to do now is get rid of the boss, and I'll have cleared the stage. Before that, there's one thing I have to verify. He gets an idea. If the monster's fate is to take on a human form, shouldn't I be able to steal it? He drops to one knee. Fate-stealing ability has been activated. There are currently 2 corpses within the activation range. Gangrym grins happily. I knew it! Just like the monsters, as a human, I can steal it too. Memories of my previous life flooded back. The reason I didn't use fate theft before I met Baek Yang, well, it's because I didn't want to, or to put it bluntly, I just didn't do it. Failed. Fate theft aborted due to insufficient mana. Do-hyun rubbed the back of his neck. Are you sure you can't? It's only been 3 hours since I died. I felt helpless. Please. There's a limitation, I explained. The longer the target has been dead, the more mana it drains. With my pathetic magic level, unless my comrade's death happens right in front of my eyes, I can't trigger the skill. Gangrym was frustrated. That was when I started questioning whether I should be stealing human fate, like some kind of monster. He continued his train of thought, but at that moment, he couldn't handle even the slightest trace of aura from the demon realm. He seemed disappointed. I didn't get a chance to try. He slowly drew his sword. You have stolen a portion of the opponent's power. You have stolen the ability Weakening and Stability. Tier 3 Demon, Glass. The skill activated as the blade left its sheath. When using this blade, a swordsman can improve their rank to the minimum required level. Gangrym swung the sword a few times. Let's see! He excitedly touched the blade. It felt as though the sword was glowing. The system changed colors to a bright, alarming red. You have accumulated a massive amount of karma, he thought to himself. That's fine. By taking it from their fate instead of stealing it directly from humans, the karma I receive will be reduced to the absolute minimum. He clenched his fist. More importantly, it was a result worth the effort. He stepped back into the corridor filled with blades. When a person carries too much karmic Burden. It crosses the boundary, and people call it the Sea of Suffering. Gangrim touched the wall in front of him. I wonder how much more I have to go before I cross that boundary. He officially left the area. The first gate, the Hell of Knife Mountains, had been cleared for the first time. The target, Seoul Gangrim, the only one there. Everyone saw him and was stunned. It's already cleared? The atmosphere turned chaotic. He cleared it all by himself? A familiar voice rang out. Seoul Gangrim! This made him turn pale with fear. Gojun excitedly spread his arms and ran over. I knew you could do it. That's why you're my ally. He went to hug him, but Gangrim dodged. You're even faster than last time, huh? He crossed his arms in protest. I'm not. Your ally. Don't go trusting me. Anavi stepped forward. Seoul Gangrim. She politely offered her congratulations. You are the first person to complete this stage. Do you mind sparing a moment? At the training center's private room for Seoul Gangrim, he happily gazed at his spoils. It seemed the reward for completing. The first round was presented by Anavi, an infinite item pouch, which has no limit on weight or volume. He strapped the pouch to his waist. It's so hard to come by. An item pouch like this, I can't miss this opportunity. He pulled out his card and entered the password into his phone. When I think of its original owner, I don't want to draw attention to the Fate Protection Force. Another bonus reward. On the news. Reports were flooding in. A magnitude 5.8 earthquake has shaken the nation. The strongest earthquake since 2017. Damage is immense, and the number of casualties is rising due to the aftershocks. They concluded that the death toll was still climbing. Gangrim wondered, no response from the Fate Protection Force? The comment section was also buzzing. I heard something really strange right before the earthquake. Did anyone else notice the stats? Me too. In the video, it looks like the Protection Force is teaching us something. Can I get a link to the video? A girl appeared on the screen. Captain of the first team of the Protection Force, Moon Yeon-woo. An official statement from the Fate Protection Force. She smiled gently. To protect the ordinary citizens, we, the Protection Force, have been and are trying our very best. He used his ability again. Fate theft was activated. He received the fate report of the subject currently being protected. Gangrim clicked his tongue in annoyance. It looks like they have an item to protect against it. The audio from the phone continued steadily. These activities will continue, so do not worry too much. We, the Fate Protection Force, will protect your future. The corners of her mouth curled up. Please trust the Fate Protection Force. He lay on his bed, thinking. Trust the Fate Protection Force? They said. He fell into deep thought. The Fate Protection Agency was an organization made up of the strongest awakeners. Every member of this force hid their face behind a mask. The silhouette of a person from his previous life appeared. He made a guess. If that woman was a member of the association, his expression darkened. That only explains why I couldn't steal. The power of Gangrim clutched his head. I can't say it now. Gong-sul slammed a pile of documents onto the table. Is this how you do your job? He scolded him angrily. Didn't you say this stage would take at least a week to complete? Gong-sul from the Fate Protection Association Alliance, captain of the second squad, Seoul. Everyone bowed their heads in silence. But what about now? They cleared the secret zone in just one day. And you lot told me that their fate level and skills were only insect tier 3 stars? He pointed directly at Ju Sung-tae. He startled. Yes, handle it, he commanded. He was incredibly furious. Write a notice and go clean up those traps Seoul Gangrim said. Everyone else, prepare to go clear out the remaining monsters. The meeting ended. Dismissed. Everyone put those masks back on. Understood. Sung-tae rubbed his forehead helplessly. He sat alone in the dark room, wondering how, while he was luring monsters into traps, he, Gangrim, had finished clearing the second gate in the same day. He typed frantically on his keyboard. Sung-tae couldn't hide his fear. What if the higher-ups find out that the one who cleared the gate is only an insect tier ranker? No, that's impossible. At the cafe in the #1 training center, Gojun asked Seoul Gangrim, Are you planning to go to room number 2 today? He struck up a conversation cheerfully. Do you still remember our bet? The previous conversation between the two flashed back. Don't you trust my skills? Let's see who clears room number 2 first, shall we? I'll tease you if you don't. Try it. I might finish the second room before you anyway, Seoul Gangrim replied coldly. I'll do it my way, so do whatever you want. And another thing, I am not your ally until you beat me. Get lost, he said mockingly. I actually want to get closer to you. Just then, Sua's group walked by. Thanks to you, I survived, she said humbly. No, it was all thanks to you blocking that attack. One of the group members suggested, I think we should head in. Seeing that, he felt relieved. Sua seems to be doing well, huh? Dok Gojun also noticed her. I hate people who are too perfect, Seol Gangrim. He threw a piece of bread at his head. Get lost. The group of girls was still laughing and chatting. Let's eat together, sounds good. Their conversation drifted straight into his ears. Wow, your hands are so small, how cute. Really? I don't... Gangrim frowned and turned away. Gunam reached out his hand. Do you want to compare them with mine? It looks like I'll have to deal with this again. He smiled brightly. See? It's tiny, right? The girl was surprised. Wow, you're right. He started a conversation. Actually, I know how to read palms. The girl next to her chimed in. He read mine last time. He's really accurate. Sua was focused on the hot cup of water in her hands, ignoring them. Gunam took the initiative. Hey, Sua, let me see your hand. She politely declined. I don't need to. He still tried to lean in and touch her hand. Come on, you don't get an opportunity like this often. Maybe I'll change my mind next time. Come on, Sua, I'm serious. She pulled her hand back. Just then, Gangrim's hand landed on the table. She was startled, looking at him. He was incredibly imposing. Gunam was annoyed by the interruption, but quickly regained his smile. Gunam beckoned. Seol Gangrim, do you want me to read your palm too? He replied flatly. No. He gestured toward Sua. I have something to discuss with you. He pointed behind him. Is that okay? She looked confused for a moment, then agreed. Yes, of course. Gangrim. And Sua walked away together. I want to talk somewhere private. All right. Suddenly, two people approached. Hey, Seol Gangrim. They greeted him with bright smiles. Thanks for letting us share the Wi-Fi. The note, with the network password, was taped to the wall. After struggling to finish the Blade Mountain room in the underworld alone, sharing the Wi-Fi was one of the rewards. He looked at them thoughtfully. People are becoming friendly. With me. Let's go with us next time. But these friendly gestures made his face dark. I'm not used to it. Memories of his previous life flashed through his mind. In the last regression, everyone started avoiding and shunning him. Right at this moment, if Seol Gangrim is there, I won't go. If that's what you say. He lowered his head shyly. I'll leave. I won't bother. Everyone, because my rank is too low, right? Gangrim separated himself from the crowd, or was Gunam the only one who smiled at him? Gangrim, are you going alone today? Can you? He replied, yes. He remembered that even then Chungunam treated him differently. He patted his shoulder. If there was space in my group, I would have let you join. Already, take care. He offered a bitter smile. No. How could the two of them have been so close back then? Even when he knew about your abilities. That's amazing. High five. His hand emitted a strange light. He looked at the window of destiny cunningly. I couldn't believe it. One day, Gangrim was walking down the hallway and overheard a conversation. I almost died when I went to the ghost realm with Seol Gangrim. What's up with Gangrim? Well, his ability is to steal skills from the dead. They were spreading malicious rumors about him. Do you mean he intends to kill someone and steal their skills? Yes, that's right. You should be careful. He bit his lip tightly, afraid to show himself. That's insane, then... He stormed into Gunam's room. You promised not to tell anyone. He played dumb. What? I don't understand what you're talking about. He accused him. You revealed my ability. To everyone, he replied shamelessly. Do you have any proof? Gangrim was stunned. What? You clearly did it, you bastard. He smirked. No proof, right? Palm reading, rank 3, ghostly class. You must match your palm print with the target to check their window of destiny. He tilted his head. I'm the only one. Who knows your ability? Back to reality. Since Chungunam has that ability, you should keep your distance from him. Don't let him see your hand or touch your hand. Sua heard everything and sighed. That's why he quickly turned and left. Anyway, I wanted to warn you. I'm going now. She reached out her hand to call him. Seol Gangrim, she told him. I also finished the Blade Mountain Room challenge in the underworld. She placed her hand over her chest and suggested, Do you want to go to the second room? With me? Gangrim shook his head. It's still too hard for you, Sua. She was confused. Why is it too hard for me? He avoided her gaze. Right now you lack combat experience. Sua was stunned after hearing that. She tried to show her resolve. I don't think I'm that weak. He continued. But your abilities will weaken in the next room because that room has a fire attribute. He explained thoroughly. The golden energy will counter the wood destiny of Sinsua. That room, Won't be suitable for you because the metal attribute energy counters your wood attribute. Your wood leaf technique won't be useful this time. Having said that, Gangrim turned away. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. She rubbed her chin and thought. The second room is clearly disadvantageous for me. He grabbed the doorknob. Do you understand now? She replied. Yeah, to some extent. Suwa reached out to touch his shoulder. Shol Gangrim. His steps became hurried. He walked away alone with a sense of sadness. Why? He bit his lip and thought, even when I said that much, she still smiled so brightly. Thanks for the advice. She pushed the door to go in. Suwa remembered his words from before. I prefer being alone. She wondered why he rejected her but went with Dok Go-jun. She speculated, I guess he's trying to keep a distance between us. There was one thing that bothered her, but he called her out to talk about Chung Gunam's ability. She pondered. Could he have refused to group with me for another reason? She watched his retreating back. Through the glass. But why was he so honest about telling me? Could it be, he's worried about me? A call rang out. Seol Gangrim! Gunam stood leaning against the wall and asked, Are you planning to go to the second room with Sinsua? Gangrim put his hands in his pockets. No, I'm going alone. He kept walking up the stairs. I have to finish this bastard off before he harms me. He suggested, Wait! Do you want to form a group with me? He persuaded, It will be more beneficial. For you, because I'm a higher rank. I'm a dragon class. He was filled with murderous intent. Liar. What is your ability? The Discover Destiny ability was activated. He looked for a trick to show him. Water bomb. I can shoot extremely powerful water bullets, but his window of destiny was held in the palm of his hand. Chung Gunam. Rank 1 human class, water attribute. He cut him off. All right. Gangrim accepted. Let's go. We can head out now. He seemed surprised. Really? He smiled brightly. I'll get ready and come down right away. He glanced back at him quietly, thinking to himself how lucky it was that he had approached him first. The fire hell room. The door flashed, indicating the completion requirement. Find the ice crystal. Ice attribute, and return to the main hall. The time limit was not displayed. The system screen popped up, confirming Seol Gangrim and Chun Gunam had entered. Gunam was surprised by the scenery around them. He remarked, It doesn't look much like hell. The system announced, You have entered the fire hell room. Everything around them was glowing with the color of fire. He confidently spoke up, I didn't expect you to accept my offer to come with me so easily. Well, I figured my water attribute would be useful for this room. Both headed forward. Anyway, did you see the completion requirement? Two of them wondered. There's ice in a place like this? How? Gunam wondered. He created a water orb. It's too damn hot in here. How the hell? Gangrim's eyes became sharp. But since I'm with you, we'll find it soon, won't we? He raised his sword, staring intently at him. Gunam startled and spun around. The system popped up. Ability activated sheath removal. Blood instantly splattered. A fire frog was sliced in two to his horror. He slowly said, I didn't expect to run into monsters right from the start. He interrupted, They're coming. He was surprised. Huh? What? Then a swarm of fire frogs advanced toward them, aggressively sticking out their tongues. They jumped as if hunting prey. Fire frog insect class grade 3, monsters born in the hottest spring. Although their individual attack power is weak, they move in swarms. They hunt creatures that aren't as hot as they are. Gunam expressed his disdain. These frogs are a piece of cake, right? He launched several jets of water, piercing through the bodies of the monsters one by one. Seeing that, he felt triumphant. Nice! My power is already proving effective here. He turned to tell Gangrim, It'll be easier once we find the ice crystal. He replied, That's all we can do. He remained very calm. He already knew where it was. We don't need to rush. What should I do with this guy? He was surprised when he saw him smile. Huh? Is he smiling? Gunam crossed his arms, speculating. Is he thinking that teaming up with me for this stage was a good choice? Several fire frogs lay piled on top of each other. He tiredly held his head. Is this what people call mania deficiency? There are too many monsters here. Compared to the underworld's mountain of knives room, Gangrim was still fighting while he collapsed to the ground. I have no other choice. I'll have to fight with my sword. Thinking that, he drew his sword. Just like Seol Gangrim. A fire frog aimed at him. He was pinned down and started screaming, So hot! Get away from me! Seol Gangrim! Seol Gangrim! He struggled. Why are you just standing there watching me? Don't just... He sighed helplessly, then Gangrim helped him eliminate the fire frog. Get it together. If you can't go on, he asserted. I can wipe them out by myself. Gunam sat up. I'll be fine if I rest for a moment." He turned his back coldly. "Fine." He angrily gritted his teeth. "You arrogant bastard, you think you're everything just because you're the one. Who can wipe out the monsters here?" He slowly stood up. "I teamed up with him to see his class and abilities in battle, but I can't check him through my own abilities because his hands were covered in ice." He was extremely curious. "Even trying to judge him from the abilities he's shown so far, it's not enough. It seems like you are hiding something." His eyes narrowed. "I'll have to check carefully. There must be a moment when he lets his guard down. I'll aim for that time." Gunam flopped down onto a rock nearby, but the rock had two glowing eyes. He was attacked unexpectedly and fell backward. The monster gradually revealed itself. "Shoal Gangrim!" Seeing that, he was startled. Gangrim saved his life again. He couldn't help but be shocked. "There are other monsters besides the swarm?" He had let his guard down while lost in thought. He called out, "Chun, Gunam." He started looking up. "Yeah?" He glanced at him. "Just now I saved you twice." He struck one more time to finish off the other monster. "These monsters are hard to die, so move fast before a few more come." What?" He managed a wry smile. "Are you intentionally reminding me that you helped me get out of trouble?" "Fine." Gunam clenched a handful of dirt. "Don't think you're so great, you bastard." He frowned in annoyance. "Once my mana recovers, I can easily take down these monsters." Gangrim suddenly looked back. "Do you have something you want to say?" He put on a fake smile. "Thanks for the help, Shoal Gangrim." Scene shift. Gunam pointed toward an orb. "What's that over there?" He quickly realized what it was. "Is that?" he exclaimed excitedly. "The ice crystal?" The orb glowed sparklingly. He smiled brightly. "It really is it. We just need to take it back to the hall to clear this trial, right?" He calculated, "Is it just us here? Then I guess we're the first ones to finish this trial." But suddenly he thought of one thing. "No. When I return to the training center, will everyone think I finished this challenge? Because Shoal Gangrim was with me?" Gangrim started to say something. "Chun Gunam, that is." But he had already dashed away. He blindly rushed toward it. If there's only one ice crystal, then the first person to get it will be the first one to complete the trial of this room. He thought he had victory in his hands. Gunam thought about many things, the rewards he was drowned in thoughts of, fame, respect, and admiration. He reached out to grab that thing. "It will all be mine. Just a little closer to touching the orb. I am the first one to finish the trial." But just as he grabbed the orb, it turned mushy. He was stunned. "A sponge, an egg sac?" Fire frog egg sac, insect class grade 3. A sac containing countless fire frog eggs. Fire frogs are always nearby. Immediately, many fire frogs emerged. They swarmed around him. He was pushed by them and lost his balance, falling. He panicked and screamed, "Shoal Gangrim!" He looked at him coldly. "That is karma for trying to stab me in the back." Gunam couldn't stop cursing. "Save me, Shoal Gangrim! This Shoal Gangrim, you piece of trash!" "Stop." Scene shifts inside the fire hell room, crystal cave. Gangrim happily picked up the ice block. Crystal ice, ghost class, grade 1. A crystal made of ice. Owning it increases water elements. He sat down on the ground. Store window. A system screen appeared. The condition to open a shop is to possess a spirit gem. I didn't even know the shop or the gems existed at first. He recalled the battle with the giant worm earlier. He had sliced its body in half and collected several gems, but this time he could finally open the shop because he had picked up a few Gangrim spirit gems before arriving. Tapping on a screen icon, "You have purchased a wishing well item." He immediately obtained a tea item. He had to trade his achievement points because he didn't have enough yang money. A level 1. Ghostly wishing. Well, if you insert an item and pray, you will receive your desired item, but if your offering is not sufficient, you will receive nothing. He opened the lid and dropped the ice block inside. What a ridiculous name. In the end, they just want us to offer something precious and expensive. He closed his eyes and clasped his hands. Crystal ice is a level 3 ghostly item? He thought to himself, the thing I want is a higher grade ghostly item. As he prayed, a stream of light emerged. It's a bit different, but both are of the ghostly type, so there's still a chance. Gangrim watched in amazement. A gift was revealed, but to his disappointment, you have received a level 3 insect type. Insect honey? He casually slashed through a few more ice blocks. He just kept collecting them. If he couldn't get quality, he'd go for quantity. With this much ice, there's no way he won't hit the jackpot. He would keep trying until he got what he wanted. A tooth was thrown onto the ground. Gunam had been severely burned. Shulgangrim, you piece of trash! He dragged his battered body. You think you can just leave me here all alone? And get away with it? Once I find you, he muttered to himself, I'm going to stab that smug face of yours with this sword. An item glowing caught his attention. Huh? What is that? An egg. His eyes widened. No, that was the door slowly opening. Gunam then excitedly hugged the fire frog and walked out. The second door leading to the hell room is complete. I did it. I'm the first one to clear the stage. Gunam's rival. Everyone was extremely impressed by him. Gunam, you finished this stage already? That's amazing. Just in one day. He grinned ear to ear. Yes, that's it. This is the reaction I was hoping for. With this, I'm way better than that fool Shulgangrim. Shulgangrim approached him, radiating murderous intent. Shulgangrim, so you're here, he chided. How could you just run ahead by yourself? I've been waiting for you for so long. He was confused. About that, his expression turned cold. As for you leaving me behind, Anavi appeared, interrupting his words. Chun Gunam, the first to finish the hell room. Gunam smiled and waved. Yep, that's me. He reached out his hand. I'll forgive you just this once. We should shake hands and make up, right? Gangrim had already realized his intentions, but he still agreed to shake hands. He activated his palm reading ability. He gripped his hand tightly. Don't be scared, he thought, reading his opponent's destiny. Shulgangrim, Gunam was excited to receive the destiny window of his rival. Being the first to finish, and seeing that pathetic look on that bastard's face, I feel so much better. Reading, Shulgangrim, level 3 insect type, fire element, fire manipulation, level 3 insect type, removing disguise, level 1 human type. He finished reading and whipped his head around in surprise. He's a level 3 insect type? I thought he was a human type. He scowled in frustration. I had to go through all this just to befriend an insect type? Gangrim looked at him with anxiety, but then his attitude suddenly became relaxed. He placed a hand on his chest. Good thing I used this in time. An amulet appeared. Level 1 Ghostly Protection Amulet protects a portion of the destiny in the destiny window, so that others cannot read it. He remembered that he couldn't get many other things earlier because he didn't have much crystal ice left, but he opened this amulet, and it seems he found one of the crystal ice blocks he had placed inside the fire frog. Gunam introduced himself warmly. I'm a water type, and I have the ability to... Anavi got straight to the point. Can you tell me how you found the crystal ice? Dogo Jun was extremely curious. Even Shulgangrim came out looking exhausted, yet he finished that room challenge in one day. The girl left after getting the necessary information. Thanks for your cooperation, he smiled brightly. Of course. He called out to Chun Gunam, praising him. You were incredible. He glanced back at Dogo Jun, a level 3 human type. He clicked his tongue. I tried that room a few days ago, but failed repeatedly, and Shulgangrim seems weaker than I thought. Hearing that, Gunam chimed in. He's a level 3 insect type. Of course he's weak. He was astonished. Really? He added. He ran ahead by himself just because of some monsters? He exclaimed joyfully. Then you're more like the protagonist. Hearing the flattery, he became arrogant. Well, you're not wrong, he continued. Right? Should we keep talking about this? Gangrim seemed satisfied. The destinies of Dogo Jun and Chun Gunam were intertwined. He quietly left. Dogo Jun wouldn't be able to pay attention to him for now. Destinies combined? The worst kind. Dark energy is seeping into Chun Gunam's fate. He had calculated this beforehand. The other guy would also take care of Chun Gunam for him. Everything was going even better than expected. Scene shift to the gloomy room. CEO Team 2 emergency meeting. Gongju asked, Anavi, is Chun Gunam about to reach the ghostly type? Anavi shook her head. No, he is still a human type. He continued investigating. Is anyone with him? She quickly replied. The trainee Shulgangrim. Sungta was startled. Wait, it's him? He rested his chin on his hand, thinking. He went with that guy, but it was Chun Gunam who finished the first challenge. That's strange. She tilted her head, recounting. Yes, but trainee Chun... Gunam said there were some rather strange things. He said he defeated the fire frog and discovered that one of them had swallowed the crystal ice. He was suspicious. But aren't monsters unable to get near the crystal cave? We set up a magic barrier there, didn't we? She replied. I just checked the footage of the second stage again. On the screen, the magic barrier had disappeared. The monsters had also eaten all the crystal ice. Hearing this, Gongju was trembling with rage. He shouted, Ju Sung Ta, how the hell are you doing your job? He tried to justify, "No, sir. I checked it many times. There's definitely no problem," he explained frantically. "Moreover, completing the stage faster than expected proves we have potential trainees." He slammed his hand onto the table, his face darkening. "Ju Songta! Do you dare take responsibility for that statement?" He frowned. "Do you dare to say your plan had zero flaws? And with so many potential trainees, can they even make it to the third floor?" He was speechless. He couldn't say anything, so he lowered his head. "Do you dare take responsibility if they all end up dead?" Gongju's tone sounded very serious. "From the third gate onwards, it's the true ghost world. Everything... Are you willing to take responsibility if all of them die?" Gongju's tone sounded very serious. "From the third gate onwards, it's the real demon world. Everything... They'll all die if they go in there unprepared," he stated firmly. "We have to train them to be stronger than they are now." He finished his sentence, then turned his gaze towards Xiao Gangrim. The scene shifts to Gangrim, who looks confused as he stares at the door now covered in talismans and tightly sealed. "I can't." The system window flashes red. The opening of the third gate has been postponed indefinitely. A new notice will be issued as soon as details are finalized. The Fate Protection Agency. Flashback to a few days ago. Gangrim stops in his tracks when he overhears a conversation. "Are you sure the method for clearing the trial that Jungunam mentioned is correct? I'll become a surgery expert soon enough. What if he lied to us?" The blonde guy insisted. "No way. He wouldn't lie. What would he gain from that?" The other one remained skeptical. "But it's strange. The people who cleared the trial aren't even close to Jungunam." Hearing that, the other remembered. "Oh, you're right. Before that, Dokgo Jun and Seo Gangrim cleared the trial much slower than him, even though they were in the same group." The other added, "After that, those two didn't stick together anymore." The blonde guy looked up. "Well, let's scout it out first, shall we?" Gangrim could only smile bitterly as he heard this. "I bet he spread misinformation everywhere." Dokgo Jun definitely abandoned him. I could have killed two birds with one stone if they had kept going together. A glowing red system window appeared before him. He focused on reading the notification. "Gather everyone at the main hall at 6 p.m. tonight. Anavi Chasia, it's time." Anavi stands before the sealed door. "Welcome. I have summoned you all here to announce the third gate." She holds out her hands. "First, as of this moment, the talismans are being removed. You are permitted to enter the third gate." Everyone cheers in excitement. She continues. "From the third gate onwards, you will truly step into the demon world. It's no longer the training ground set up by the protection agency like before." She concludes. "Therefore, from now on, you will clear the trials together," Anavi explains clearly. "In the real demon world, the environment is much harsher, and you will have to face a series of stronger, more formidable monsters." She continues. "The gods will be watching your battle. I in the demon world." She pulls out a phone. "When you hear the voice of a god, do not respond immediately. Check the latest updates in the guidebook first." Everyone opens their guidebooks to check. "This guidebook has these changes," she explains. "We have added countermeasures for various situations. In the demon world, we recommend you read it carefully before entering the gate." Anavi politely clasps her hands together. "That is all the advice we have for you." She frowns. "Please, don't die." Someone couldn't help but tremble. Did she just say, "Don't die"? People started whispering and murmuring. If there's no limit on group members, we should gather as many people as possible. We should read the guide first. Suddenly, a young girl jumped out from behind Gangrim. "Hi there!" He jumped in surprise and looked back. "Hello!" The two sisters clung to him. "Can you tell us apart? It's not fun at all. Others always get us mixed up." He looks at them both affectionately. "How could I not tell you apart? In my past life, you and Sinsua were the only ones who would talk to me when Jungunam was busy spreading nasty rumors about me." He smiles. "Besides, even though you're twins, your fates are different." Unbom suggests, "People would find it easier to distinguish us if I cut my hair, right?" Unji insists on keeping it. "My hair is my choice." He activates his ability. Fate Exploration. Unbom, class, Dragon Grade 1, Attribute, Golden Ability, Perfect Marksmanship, Subclass, Grade 1 Ghost. When using power or long-range weapons, you will always hit the target. Mana consumption varies based on distance and target level. The Fate window. Oh, for the younger one appears as well. Yunji. Class. Dragon Grade 1. Attribute. Golden. Ability. Surefire hit subclass. Grade 1 Ghost. When using power or long-range weapons, you will always hit the target. Mana consumption varies based on distance and target level. Gangrim hangs his head. I guess things won't change. Memories come flooding back. In the past life, Yunbom survived. Yunbom was so helpless back then, while Yunji died in the third gate. The system turns red. You sense the presence of a white tiger spirit from Yunji. She will face a life-threatening danger within the next few days. He thinks, then suggests, Yunji, do you want to join me for the third gate? The girl eagerly agrees. Sure, it's not like I wanted to hunt with my sister anyway, she pouts. What was that? He tilts his head. Yunbom is the same. This time I will definitely help them survive. He places his hand on the door. The rules of the game appear. Third training gate, the frozen room. Conditions, hunt at least one of each type of monster in the Ice Valley. Number of monster types. Killed 10 or less. Time limit 14 days. The space inside is filled with ice, and the wind blows hard, striking the players. Currently, water energy. O is invading the demon world. Water energy counters Seo Gangrim's fate. All stats are reduced by 10%. A robotic voice rings out. You have entered the frozen room. The two sisters are confused. It's so cold, Yunbom reminds her. Hunting monsters is the mission this time. Unji closes her eyes tight. I can't see anything. Suddenly, some rabbits appear, catching their attention. Look over there. Those rabbits are so cute. But the rabbits' sparkling eyes turn bright red, and they transform into a terrifying form. A spray of blood. And the rabbits are quickly defeated. One-horned rabbit, grade 1 insect. What the heck is that? Grade 1 insect class? They look much weaker than that. The two girls are happy. Let's check the system. This shop is awful. It has so many items, but no search feature. The younger one asks curiously, How do you find items so easily? He thinks to himself, well, I've used this for many years. Then he finds a random excuse. The design is similar to a game I used to play. The girl begs, Hey, help me pick a weapon. I was planning to buy a bow and arrows. After that, both of them have their own weapons and are fully equipped. Gangrim continuously kills the one-horned rabbits. The two sisters keep bickering. I killed more than you! He looks at the younger girl. Yunbom is a natural sharpshooter. Then he looks at the other, Yunji. Well, used to be a competitive archer for the national team. He evaluates. Hunting efficiency is increasing as they use weapons they're familiar with. He recalls the past. In his previous life, Yunbom became a top-tier marksman. Gangrim falls into deep thought. If Yunji were still alive, would she have achieved the same thing? The two of them would be even stronger when working together. A sense of loss floods back. In the previous life, Yunbom changed completely after the death of... With achievements like that, the two of them will only get stronger when they team up. The memories of her past life came rushing back. Yunbom felt like a completely different person after that death. Yungyun and Yunbom became gloomy. Bom never smiled again. After that, to avenge Yungyun's death, Bom focused on hunting monsters, becoming incredibly cold after every battle. Later, Yunbom grew stronger rapidly and was recruited into the Sura Guild, one of the 5 most powerful guilds. She was always somber, but she was never happy. Gangrim looked up. Both of them had good potential. They could become strong. He told himself he had to help Yungyun survive to find salvation. Yunbom, I will help them join the Flying Tiger Guild, he calculated carefully. Then, those Flying Tiger Guild members who perished at the hands of Yunbom, the Sura Guild's sharpshooter, heard, to survive. Thinking that, he turned back to watch over them. All right, I'll definitely keep a close eye on Yungyun. But suddenly his face darkened with fear. Gangrim walked out, bewildered, leaving only Yunbom behind. Fighting! Yungyun, where did she go? Gangrim and Yunbom ran everywhere. Yungyun, where are you? Gangrim called out in panic. Yungyun! The girl glanced around anxiously. She just went to use the restroom, so why did she go so far? He spoke up. He heard a scream from over there. The girl was surprised. Huh? But I didn't hear anything. He ran in that direction. He was sure of it. A childish voice rang out. Big sister, brother Gangrim, I'm here. The girl was shocked. Yoon-gi-hun? She was in a hole! The ground had suddenly collapsed. She looked down. We'll get you out right now! Gangrim didn't hesitate and jumped right in. Yoon-gi-hun, are you okay, kiddo? She replied, I'm okay, but this person... He turned to look at the person next to her. He quickly recognized Chun Gunam. Gunam gnashed his teeth in frustration. Damn it! Her teammate is Seo Gangrim! He sighed. Need help? He yelled angrily. No, I don't... Need help from a guy like you? Hearing that, Gangrim pulled the little girl away. All right then, let's go. The little girl looked up at him. Huh? Are we just going to leave like that? He, along with Yunbom, pulled the girl out of the hole. He said his leg was paralyzed because a terrifying monster had attacked him. He wondered, paralyzing venom? He looked back coldly. Probably just some rabbits. The toxicity will wear off on its own. Gunam, trembling at the bottom of the hole, heard the whole conversation. Rabbits? They are the weakest ones. Here, and he didn't need to say it like that. That bastard Seo Gangrim! He slammed his hand against the ground. He had to taste this feeling, too. His voice was full of malice. That's right. Bad people have to pay for what they've done. A voice spoke up. Do you need help? He was suspicious. Who are you? The scene shifted to Gangrim leading the two girls to the door. Time to head back. The difficulty will spike once it gets dark. They seemed reluctant, but I've already increased my stats to get stronger. I've also collected quite a few achievements. He reassured them. No need to rush. It's only the first day, after all. The girl asked. So will you come with us again tomorrow? He made a promise. Yeah, let's stick together until we complete this room's challenge. Really? The little girl was excited. Awesome! Let's finish this room together. Suddenly, a roar echoed, a terrifying sound. That voice is... Gangrim ran toward it. You guys head back to the waiting room first. Unbom was worried. Huh? What about you? He replied. I forgot a few things. I'll be back soon. A pack of wolves was surrounding Sua's group. Every one of them was in a bloodthirsty state. She fought with all her might. Everyone stay calm! She was impatient watching. Her teammates being attacked. She suggested, everyone get behind me! Activating the leaf blade technique, Sua used her sword to deflect the wolves' fierce attacks. She didn't give up. The leaf blade technique was protecting everyone. Come on, Sua! She reminded herself that she had to kill as many as possible. That way it would be easier later. Suddenly, a wolf bit her shoulder. Blood sprayed out. She gritted her teeth in pain. If we had just one more person who could fight! Just then, Gangrim appeared, switching his achievements and the fire control ability. The fire control ability had leveled up to a Tier 2 insect-type class. He helped her escape the wolf pack. Seo Gangrim. Every one of his sword strikes was skillful and precise. She also helped take down a few stragglers. The battle ended. She panted. That was over fast. Thank you, Seo Gangrim. Gangrim's expression didn't look too good. Return to the waiting room. Why didn't you run away? Everyone looked in that direction, confused. Gangrim scolded her sternly. You have to know that the situation was too disadvantageous for you. He advised that she should have run if she couldn't win. She had enough ability to escape without getting hurt. But Sua was bitter. You always say I'm weak, but he denied it. This time you just got lucky. He was worried to the point of anger. What would have happened if those monsters had hidden abilities you knew nothing about? What would have happened if no one came to help you? The events of the past flashed through his mind again. Such a meaningless death. The death of Sua in his previous life, which always haunted him, must not happen again. He shouted, Do you intend to risk your life to protect others? Saving others is something only the strong can do. Then he coldly turned away. Don't forget that, he added. If you let your guard down, you'll leave this place as a corpse. Two girls approached Sua to comfort her. Sua, are you okay? Seo Gangrim. It's a bit harsh, isn't he? Does he mean we should all just die? She laughed awkwardly, trying to just shrug it off. She explained, He's just worried about me. The other girl was surprised. Huh? She added, He still came to help, though. She looked at his retreating figure. I don't understand why he keeps trying to play the villain. He really is a sentimental person. Then Sua called out his name. Mr. Seo Gangrim. Gangrim stopped. Thank you for worrying about me. Hearing that, he sighed. He thought to himself, either way. The scene shifted to a battle at the third gate. Ice room complete. First to finish. Dogojun. Monsters defeated. 10 out of 12. The sisters seemed disappointed. You have completed the ice room. Someone has already completed the previous room. Out already. I thought we would be first. You finished too? Really? That was close. The two of them spoke up. So, are you leaving now? Gangrim affirmed. I'll stay and wait for you two to finish. He silently watched the two sisters' innocent demeanor. No one ever returns to this place once. They finish so I can come back later. Gangrim pondered carefully. His goal was the hidden reward he could get from hunting all 11 types of monsters. Yunbom pouted. Yoon Gi-hun, stop stealing my monsters. Hunt them yourself. He still wasn't at ease. I'm a bit worried that the raid was completed a little too quickly. Pouting, Yoon Gi-hun said, "Stop stealing my monsters. Go hunt your own first." He still couldn't shake his worry. He felt uneasy that the raid had been finished a little too quickly. Compared to my past life, activating the Fate Discovery skill, the system alerts me that the Death White Tiger's energy is near, and the energy of death is close by. I look around. Is someone else about to lose their life besides Yoon Gyun? The system continues. The worst fate combination. Demonic power is clinging to the fate of John Gunam. I think to myself, this will be a problem. If I get involved with him again... Gangrim rubs his chin. Should I just kill him now? Before leaving, I don't forget to remind her, I'll go check around that hill. Keep hunting. Stay together so you don't get lost, okay? The little girl obediently replies, Yes. After that, I pick up my sword and leave. I figured there wouldn't be any issues as long as the two of them stayed together. John Gunam is standing right in front, waiting for me. Finally, I've been looking for you, Seol Gangrim. I'm suspicious. Why is he controlling a hovering crystal? I think it's time to pay you back. His eyes turn blood red. Pay back everything you've done to me. Gangrim remains calm. And you think you're capable of that, you bastard? He arrogantly raises his hand and a massive burst of light fires. Of course, because I am the protagonist. You can hear the voice of a god. John Gunam raises his hand, summoning sharp ice shards wrapped in cold energy, and smiles as he speaks. Prepare yourself, Seol Gangrim. Finishing his words, he fires toward Gangrim. These are the ice arrows, Gunam yells loudly. This is the power of a god. Seol Gangrim grips his sword tight and blocks it. I grit my teeth and think to myself, I knew it. Gangrim recalls what Anavi Chasia told him. The gods will watch over your journey into the demon world. My expression darkens and a bead of sweat rolls down my cheek. Gangrim, I tell myself, you have become too obsessed. Suddenly, the system announces the activation of the Fate Discovery skill. An info box appears above the white-haired guy. John Gunam, Human Class 1, Divine. Apostle! He says triumphantly, I am the protagonist, of course I'm blessed by the gods. Images of John Gunam kneeling before a deity appear. Those who accompany the gods are called apostles. Watching Gunam lose control, using his power to manipulate thousands of sharp ice shards, Gangrim realizes he's gaining power through a blessing. My eyes darken. I secretly feel a bit lucky. At least this is a low-level god, probably John 1. Gangrim swipes his hand across his blade. Everywhere my hand moves. On the sword, blazing flames appear. Gangrim continues his thoughts. His mana has increased a bit, and he's also received a new skill, a shard of ice covered in chilling cold. Flies toward me, an info box appears. Heavenly Flower, Human Class 1, borrows the power of a god to infect the opponent with the Heavenly Flower. When hit, if the skill activates, the affected area will be exposed to a plague. Gangrim glances at the Heavenly Flower shard and lets out a soft sigh, thinking to myself, will I be infected with the Heavenly Flower if that touches me? What an annoying skill. Gangrim decides to erode his mana first. Immediately, I swing my sword hard at a tree. Gangrim turns and runs deep into the forest. On both sides of the path I take, the trees are burning with fire. Gunam chases after me, controlling the Heavenly Flower to launch at Seol Gangrim. He screams loudly, running is useless! A section of the forest is engulfed in burning red fire. John Gunam absorbs the surrounding cold energy into his hand. He squints and shouts, the punishment of the gods will chase you to the ends of the earth. Suddenly, from the forest, a herd of black pigs with red eyes appears and rushes through, cutting off the space between Gangrim and John Gunam, startling him. The pigs run across, not having time to dodge Gunam's ice arrows, and collapse on the ground. John Gunam doesn't stop controlling the Heavenly Flower. Chasing Seol Gangrim, he yells angrily, cursing, Damn it, stop right there, Seol Gangrim! Gunam frowns and screams, Get out of here, you annoying pigs! Finishing his words, he jumps up, intending to leap over the pigs. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a giant wild boar appears with its mouth wide open. Gunam is caught off guard, and his whole body slams into its tusks. His face darkens in pain as he spits out a mouthful of blood. Right after being attacked, Gunam falls hard to the ground in pain. That wild boar doesn't pay attention to him anymore and runs away. Suddenly, a gloomy voice echoes. I came to watch because I heard there was a human blessed by the gods, but he's so weak. Honestly, that makes sense for a low-level god, doesn't it? Hearing this voice, Gunam's red eyes glow. He struggles to breathe, looking up. In front of Gunam, there is no one. He thinks to himself, it's not John 1. Are other gods watching me too? The voice says with interest, watching such a weak human is also captivating, isn't it? Gunam grits his teeth, his fingernails digging hard into the snowy ground, and he says with dissatisfaction, "So this is what fascinates you people." Suddenly another voice admits, "That's exactly right." A sword slams hard into John Gunam's shoulder, making him scream in pain. Gangrim sits on Gunam's back, his hand gripping the hilt of the sword tight. That gloomy voice is surprised. "Oh, he lost already?" John Gunam helplessly hangs his head and pleads loudly, "Master John 1, please, save me!" Gangrim pulls the blade out hard. I softly call out, "John Gunam!" Seol Gangrim's gaze is icy as he questions him. "Are you done with your revenge yet, huh?" I put the tip of the sword to John Gunam's ear, pinning him down with the other hand. I continue, "You managed to fool me for a bit. Since you did that, you must know what the consequences are, right?" Suddenly, from the opposite side, a small figure runs toward us, calling out, "Brother! Brother!" Gangrim slams his sword into the frozen ground and says coldly, "You're lucky, John Gunam." I stand up, sheath the sword, and warn him, "Next time, I'll definitely kill you. Go get yourself ready." Gangrim runs toward that little figure. My voice softens. "I told you not to go anywhere, didn't I?" Unbom doesn't seem to hear what I said. The little girl runs over, panicking. "Brother, something happened!" Yunbom yells while running. "A herd of snow pigs broke loose. They crushed Ungyun." Hearing this from Yunbom, Gangrim is stunned. "What? What did you say?" Unbom screams. "She's gone!" The voice of a mysterious person echoes. "The fate of this child is unfortunately engulfed in dark energy." The frantic scene of the two of them appears in Gangrim's mind. Many people have been hurt when in the same team as Shul Gangrim, including his parents. They died too. Everywhere he goes, people fall. Yunbom sees my darkened expression and panics, calling out, "Brother Gangrim, are you okay?" Gangrim is terrified and thinks to himself, "It's all my fault." A malicious voice echoes, "I knew it! You, saving people, keep dreaming." Escaping the enchantment of that voice, Gangrim walks quickly past Yunbom. I shout loudly, "I'll go find her!" making the little girl surprised. "Huh?" Yunbom immediately runs after Gangrim. She calls out, "Wait for me!" Suddenly, Gangrim stops Yunbom. "You go back, Yunbom." The little girl is momentarily shocked. "Huh?" Then she immediately grabs my arm and yells, "I'm going too!" Gangrim suddenly yells at Yunbom, "But if something happens to you again!" Hearing me yell at her, Yunbom's eyes brim with tears and she speaks up angrily. "You already told me not to go around by myself." Yunbom's hand grabs Gangrim's cloak. "K-Jun," she continues, "how could I just go back by myself when Jun might be in danger?" Gangrim suddenly suggests, "I'll let you go back if it gets dark or if something dangerous happens." Seeing the little girl silent, I press, "Are you not going to answer?" Gangrim looks. She was wandering around alone when Unbom grabbed the hem of Gangrim K-Jun's cloak. "How could I possibly go back on my own," she added, "when Jion might be in danger?" Gangrim suddenly offered, "I'll let you go back if it gets dark or if something dangerous happens." Seeing her stay silent, he pressed her. "Aren't you going to answer me?" Gangrim looked. Seeing her resolve, Yunbom finally compromised. "Fine." As the two walked across the snowy field amidst the howling blizzard, Seol Gangrim quietly wondered how Yoonjun had died in his previous life. "But she's in danger right now, so she must be around here somewhere. Please, don't die," Unbom whispered, looking around in fear. "There aren't any monsters here, right?" Gangrim didn't answer. To himself, he thought, "That's because low-level monsters wouldn't dare set foot in a predator's territory." Suddenly, a strange noise echoed. "What was that sound?" Yunbom asked, curious. Gangrim quickly grabbed her wrist and said, "This way." As they hid behind a large boulder, a massive furry silhouette appeared. The creature turned, its head toward the rock. It was a level 3 ghost-class yeti, a humanoid monster covered in fur that only appeared to humans on snowy days. It loved to fight. Opponents stronger than itself. Gangrim glanced at it in horror, shocked to realize the figure clutched in the yeti's hand was Yoonjun. Suddenly, Yunbom darted out from the side. Gangrim, panicked, reached out after her. She held a pistol firmly in her hand, pointing it straight at the yeti. This move immediately drew its attention. Gangrim quickly pulled Yunbom back behind the rock. The yeti turned back, saw nothing, and looked confused. Suddenly, a faint aura of death surrounded Seol Gangrim's body. He whispered to himself, "Wait." Suddenly, the system announced that his fate-stealing skill was activated. A mark appeared, and with Gangrim at the center, it scanned the surroundings. After a moment, the notification rang out. "None. No one died in this area." Gangrim broke into a cold sweat and sighed softly. He said, "We'll just put her in more danger if we attack it now." Gangrim watched the giant yetis retreating back and continued. "It's heading back to its lair. Looks like it's carrying a snow pig too." The two reached a high, rocky ledge. Gangrim continued. "We need to wait for it to put Eunjun down." Yunbom carefully asked, "Will we attack once it puts her down?" Gangrim stopped her. "No, it's best to avoid a fight." Gangrim tossed a gun and 3 bullets to Yunbom. He instructed, "When it puts Eunjun down, fire this to lure it out, then run straight toward the exit. Keep firing while you move." Seeing the item handed to her, Yunbom was surprised. "A flare gun?" Seol Gangrim asked carefully. "We can't fight it. We have to lure it and run. Can you do it?" Yunbom replied resolutely. "Yes, I can." Gangrim continued. "I'll go save Eunjun while you're running." With that, he jumped down from the icy ledge. Gangrim thought, "With Yunbom's agility, she'll be able to escape the Yeti easily. Plus, we have the terrain advantage." Yunbom used binoculars with one hand and saw the Yeti had already dropped Eunjun. Her other hand held the flare gun high. Immediately after, the sky lit up, accompanied by the sound of a gunshot, drawing the giant Yeti's attention. It gnashed its teeth and clenched its fists. Just as Gangrim predicted, the Yeti ignored Eunjun and chased after the source of the flare. At the same time, Yunbom ran away. Gangrim took the opportunity to rush toward Eunjun. He called out loudly, "Eunjun!" Gangrim urged her, "Wake up, Eunjun!" He held her in his arms, thinking, "She is in an unconscious state." Gangrim told himself, "I can't give her medicine right now." He hoisted her onto his shoulder. "I'll take her back to the hall." Suddenly, Gangrim looked up in shock. Another giant Yeti stood towering in front of him. Gangrim thought to himself, "Damn it! I didn't think there would be another Yeti here." Its eyes glowed red as it stared at Gangrim. Suddenly, it reached out its hand. Gangrim quickly controlled the fire in his hands. He lamented his own luck. "This is really bad luck." Yunbom was running while firing the flare into the air. The Yeti's foot stomped hard onto the snow. Suddenly, it turned around and stopped chasing Yunbom, leaving her surprised. "What? Why?" Yunbom remembered that Gangrim was still in the cave with Eunjun and kept firing flares into the sky. She screamed to get its attention. "Hey, where are you going, huh? You're supposed to be chasing me!" She panicked and called out, "Turn! Back here!" The remaining Yeti in the cave stared at Gangrim with glowing red eyes. It tossed the prey in its hand aside and lunged at him. Gangrim thought, "I know my fate. Has no luck at all." He summoned a fireball in his hand. Following Gangrim's footsteps, flames coated his feet as well. The moment the Yeti's foot lifted, Gangrim slid underneath. He quickly got behind it. Suddenly, a noise grabbed Gangrim's attention, making his eyes widen in shock. Gangrim turned his head and saw the Yeti that had been lured away from the cave running back toward him. Gangrim, carrying Eunjun on his shoulder, was being aggressively charged by both giant Yetis. He gritted his teeth, glancing at them. Gangrim nimbly dodged the Yeti's attacks. He set Eunjun down and sat by the Yeti's woodpile. His hand, covered in flames, touched the firewood. He thought, "All right, I was planning on hunting anyway." Eunjun lay gently on the snow. Gangrim drew his sword and whispered to her, "Hang in there a little longer, Eunjun." Gangrim's gaze sharpened as he looked at the approaching Yetis. "I'll kill you two soon enough." Those two Yetis. They opened their mouths full of sharp teeth and lunged forward, their feet slamming down hard. Gangrim brought his sword forward, ready to fight. Suddenly, he startled and glanced to the side. Gangrim suddenly smiled triumphantly. "I see, this could work." With that, he charged at the two Yetis with his flaming blade. The system announced, "Your ability level has increased to 18. The two Yetis kept pounding the ice beneath them, trying to destroy Gangrim, but he dodged quickly, causing the ice to shatter. Wherever the Yeti struck, Gangrim avoided it. The red-skinned Yeti slammed both fists down where Gangrim had been, but he quickly leaped up. He swung his flaming blade. Gangrim dashed past the red-skinned Yeti's shoulder, aiming for the other one behind it. Suddenly, he leaped into the air, causing it to slam into the shoulder of the confused red-skinned Yeti in front. Stunned by the impact, the red-skinned Yeti knelt on one knee. Seeing this opening, Gangrim swung his sword, slashing the Yeti. The blue-skinned Yeti was shocked. The ice under their feet, under the pressure of two giant Yetis, began to show cracks. Before long, one of them fell and started sinking into the cold water. The other tried to cling to the edge of the ice. A red streak appeared in the dark space. The system announced, "You have defeated the level 3 demon-class Yeti. Gangrim thought. Right, the demon world has plenty of terrain made entirely of ice and snow. Gangrim remembered when Unjun fell into the hole. She had shouted, "Sister, brother Gangrim, I'm here!" He continued his train of thought, and they're usually prone to collapsing, just like the place where Unjun fell. He stared at the giant yeti. As I climbed, I thought to myself, there's no way those damn monsters can follow me up here. Suddenly, the creature slammed its hand into the ice, shattering the surface all around. As I fell, I whispered to myself in my heart, "Damn it all to hell!" Suddenly, a series of branches sprouted, catching me. A figure appeared at the edge of the cracked ice, staring down at me, which surprised me. It was Shinsua. She spoke coldly. "If you let your guard down like that, you'll be leaving this place as a corpse, Seo Gangrim. I'm glad I wasn't too late." I gave a strained, grateful smile and thanked her. She smiled and reminded me, "Save your thanks for the one who went looking for you." Behind her, Yunbom flashed by. Shinsua offered, "I'll pull you up, hold on tight," but I refused. I told her, "No, get down there first, I need to check on something." A moment later, after I climbed up, I heard Unbom calling out in a panic, "Yungyun, Yungyun! Open your eyes!" Ungyun was lying still, not moving. Seeing that, I rushed over in a panic. I thought to myself, am I too late? I couldn't accept it, biting my lip hard. Could it be that are we really unable to fight against the destiny we were born with? Shinsua, standing beside me, was just as worried. Suddenly there was a soft moan. Ungyun gripped my arm. Her body was shivering and her voice trembled. "It's so cold. Sis, can you turn on the heater?" Seeing the girl wake up, Shinsua and Yunbom were overjoyed. "Yungyun!" Still dazed, she asked, "Where are we?" Shinsua shouted with joy. "She's alive! Ungyun is still alive!" the girl asked, confused. "Of course I'm alive! Was I supposed to die?" Hearing that, I froze. The system announced that the aura of the white tiger spirit had vanished from Yungyun. The sound of the two sisters arguing rang out. "You idiot! You idiot, you're hurt!" On the system board, a notification appeared. "A destiny has been changed." I rushed over, my eyes widening as I looked at the text on the system board. "Destiny change activated. Class destiny of Seo Gangrim. Has been upgraded from rank 3 insect to rank 2 insect." My profile appeared. Seo Gangrim. Class rank 2 insect. Attribute Fire, Destiny Discovery, rank 3 Dragon class. Destiny Plunder, rank 1 Dragon class Fire. Shell Removal, rank 2 Insect. Molting, rank 3 Demon class. Reading. Everything on the status board, I was stunned and thought, no way. I thought there was no way to change my class destiny. Yunbom rushed over, hugging me tightly. She shouted happily, "Yungyun is alive, all thanks to you, big brother." Her ears turned bright red and her voice became quieter. "Thank you, big brother." I waved it off, cleared the status board, and looked gently at Yunbom as she wiped away her tears. I thought, I'll leave the complicated stuff for later. On Yungyun's side, Shinsua asked kindly, "How do you feel now?" The girl replied, "The pain has eased, but the pill was huge." I laughed, patting Yunbom's head. I thought, the important thing right now is that she's okay. I felt a sense of relief that Yungyun was still alive. In contrast to the happy scene on my side, John Gunam was running headlong through the snowstorm, his voice sounding gloomy once again. "Are you okay? What should I do? What should I do? Wait a second, I'll try a few things." Gunam angrily raised his middle finger to the sky and screamed, "You lying God! What kind of a god are you? I never should have trusted a sick, twisted deity in the first place." Suddenly that voice reminded him, "Gunam, you've gone too far." He panicked and shouted, "Huh? Master Tiangon! Master Tiangon! Master Tiangon!" Gunam turned his head and saw Gojun, then shouted in surprise, "Boss Gojun! Gunam!" was stuck in a crevasse and begged for help. "Boss Gojun, save me! Seo Gangrim attacked me, so I ran in here." He angrily cursed me. "I'm sure that bastard Seo Gangrim is a villain. Stop with the ridiculous act about hidden awakened powers or whatever, and let's defeat that bastard together. You said we had the same goal, right, boss?" Gojun replied coldly, "If you were the protagonist, you should have handled this simply, but you lost to Seo Gangrim." Gunam kept shouting, "Anyway, I'm just a coward!" Gojun sighed helplessly. He interrupted, "I thought you couldn't show your true power because I was with you, but now I guess you aren't the protagonist after all." Gunam lay on the snow, his eyes wide, shouting, "I told you, I am the protagonist, so save me already." Gojun suddenly interrupted with a question. "If you are the protagonist, you can get out on your own, right?" Hearing that, Gunam was stunned. "What?" he shouted frantically, trying to justify himself. No, I'm not the protagonist, so please save me." Gojun asked indifferently, "Is that so?" Suddenly, his gaze sharpened as he glanced at Gunam. If you aren't the protagonist, why should I bother with you? Seeing Gojun turn to leave, he panicked and called out, "Wait, Boss Gojun, don't leave me. Please save me. Hey, you psycho bastard, stop!" Cheon Gunam's scream echoed across the snowy mountain. "Boss Gojun!" I swung my sword, taking out the beasts around me. With every strike, a monster went down, but they were overwhelming in number. Soon I was completely surrounded. After clearing the herd, I slowly wiped my sword. Suddenly, someone called out, "Gangrim, we're done with this side." Yoon Gi-hun said confidently, "I did it all, brother!" Yoon Bom laughed and exposed the truth. "You just stood there and supported me from behind." Yoon Gi-hun heard that and retorted, "What are you talking about? You only landed one hit while Suddenly I looked on in horror. I shouted, "Duck!" Just then, someone swung a sword toward them. Yoon Bom shouted angrily, "What the hell? Who are you?" She didn't answer Yoon Bom, but coldly called out, "Seo Gangrim?" Baek Hyang's eyes glared sharply at the girl, her voice filled with killing intent as she ordered, "If you hand over Seo Gangrim to me, I'll let you die in peace." Yoon Bom angrily raised her gun. Behind her, Yoon Gyun drew her bow. Yoon Bom challenged her, "What the hell are you talking about?" Seeing the twins' actions, I panicked and tried to stop them. "No, stop!" Baek Hyang raised her sword high. I shouted, "Yoon Bom! Yoon Gyun!" I ran toward the two of them. But behind me were more beasts. I yelled, "Stop!" I suddenly froze when I saw sharp claws reaching out. I was suddenly grabbed by a hand that squeezed my face and jerked me backward. I was seized by thousands of other hands sprouting from the ground, grabbing my legs. In front of me was a scene of Yoon Bom and Yoon Gyun being attacked by sharp sword strikes. They lay on the ground in pain, their eyes wide open, staring at me with accusation. "Why, did you appear in our lives? We could have lived in peace if it weren't for you." I was pinned down, my eyes wide, watching the scene before me. Each question rang out, "Why? Didn't you save us? We shouldn't have brought you into the Flying Tiger Gang." Suddenly, a gloomy voice spoke up. "Don't forget Seo Gangrim." Yoon Bom, clinging to my shoulder, said coldly, "You killed us!" Suddenly, there was the sound of running water. I grabbed the edge of the sink, reminding myself it was just a dream. I splashed water on my face to wake up, hanging my head. "You killed us!" Suddenly, there was the sound of rushing water. Gangrim gripped the edge of the sink, reminding himself it was just a dream. He splashed water on his face to snap out of it, head bowed low. Looking down, I tell myself that future won't come. I won't let it happen again. Gangrim's expression darkens. He wonders if this is an omen that it's drawing near. Recalling the joyful faces of Yoon Bom and Yoon Gyun, the system chimes. Yoon Bom thinks, "You are the savior of Seo Gangrim's fate." And as Yoon Bom and Yoon Gyun start to intertwine, Gangrim keeps the faucet running, gloomily telling himself to keep his distance from them. Yoon Bom appears behind the door, asking anxiously, "Brother, do you hate us?" Gangrim replies, "I just have some things I need to take care of, okay?" Hearing that, Yoon Bom retorts, "But Sua came too." Gangrim sighs inwardly, thinking they've grown close to Sin Sua now, so he won't need to worry about them anymore. He speaks up, "That's good. She's a great person." Yoon Bom exclaims, "Then you should come too." Gangrim compromises, "Sure, next time." With that, he slams the door shut. Yoon Gyun looks at the door, puzzled. "Has Brother Gangrim been distancing himself from us since that day?" Yoon Bom says, "I'm sure he has his reasons." The two head downstairs. Giving an X sign to Sua, she helplessly says, "There's nothing more we can do. Let's just head to the fourth room by ourselves." With that, Sua opens the mystical door herself. Behind her are Yoon Bom, Yoon Gyun, and a bow. The fresh scenery of the sword forest, the fourth training room, leaves them stunned. The three of them stand there, bewildered. The condition to clear this room is to hunt monsters and collect soul orbs. In the sword forest maze, the number of soul orbs is currently over 1,000. Yoon Bom says happily, "This time it's a forest!" Yoon Gyun adds, "The air is so fresh." Sin Sua warns, "You kids be careful, something is coming." Yoon Bom pulls out a handgun and shouts, "Is it a monster? Where is it coming from?" Sin Sua raises her sword to block falling leaves. Her other hand is cut by a leaf. She says, "No, it's not a monster. I think the forest itself is what's dangerous in this room." A map and a portal appear. The sword forest is a demon realm with an endless forest. The terrain doesn't change. Once you reach the end, you loop back to the start. The brittle tree branches suddenly turn into crystals sparkling in the sunlight. Yoon Bom adjusts the gun in her hand. She stares at the information board appearing before her and whispers, 1,000 soul orbs. This is going to take a while. Sinsua cautiously says. Check our surroundings first. Yunbom folds her arms, instructing, let's stick together this time so we don't get lost. Yungyun waves her off. I'm not a kid, Yunbom reminds her. Brother Gangrim said we have to stay together. Yungyun says regretfully, it would be great if he were here with us. Yunbom agrees. Hearing them talk, Sinsua thinks, I guess he's really good to these kids. She remembers her own conversations with Gangrim. I'm still not good enough, she thinks. Is he planning to risk his life to protect others? Saving others is something only the strong can do. Sua's expression darkens. She rubs her chin and thinks, he doesn't show it in words, but he's definitely a good person deep down. Suddenly Yunbom calls out, there's something over there? Sinsua turns around. She sees Yungyun heading deep into the forest and shouts, Jun, stop! The girl curiously looks down at her feet. Suddenly a trail of red blood appears. On Gangrim's side, he is resting his chin on his hand, looking at the egg in front of him. He says, good grief. As the egg opens its mouth filled with sharp, jagged fangs, Gangrim is surprised. Even grosser than what I was told. The egg's information pops up. Unidentified egg. Subclass to be decided after hatching. Will hatch if cared for over a period of time. Appearance will change based on what it is fed. Unknown what will emerge. That egg is a question mark. It could hatch into one of 6 creatures. An unidentified egg that I received as a reward after killing the snowman, a tier 11 monster. What hatches depends on what I feed it. Gangrim takes a cloth and wraps it around the egg. As he wraps it, he thinks he knows what he wants to hatch, and he can't just feed it everything. It's not that I'm afraid of getting bitten, but this isn't the only thing I received. He recalls the image of the 2 snowmen collapsing in the abyss along with the system notification. You have defeated the snowman tier 3 demon. A pale purple light radiates from Gangrim's body. He stabs his sword into the ground, activating the Fate Seizure ability. Steel Combat Instincts. Steel Water Attribute. The information board appears. Seo Gangrim. Subclass. Tier 2. Insect. Attribute. Fire. Gangrim says, change attribute to water. The system immediately complies, changing Seo Gangrim's attribute to water. Gangrim feels a distinct change in his body and widens his eyes in shock. Water overcomes fire unlocked. He looks at the stats in front of him. The reduced stats have returned to normal. Seo Gangrim, subclass, tier 2, insect, attribute water. Gangrim sits on the bed holding the egg in his lap. He thinks to himself, I couldn't afford a proper weapon in the ice room because I had to keep buying food that contained the water attribute. The good news is that now I can even steal attributes. I'll buy a weapon in the next demon realm. The fire attribute will be useful there. I'll need to change it again. A moment later, he passes through the portal. He appears in the 4th room. The system notifies, entrance check. Seo Gangrim, you have entered the Sword Forest room. A gloomy voice suddenly echoes. The ice room was too boring. Maybe this room will be better. It doesn't pay much attention to Gangrim rambling on. Probably not. These guys? Still such rookies. Well, watching rookies grow is fun. Gangrim is annoyed, thinking, babbling the moment I walk in, and talking about their subclasses like that. He presses buttons on the control panel and says quietly, set, mute communication. The mysterious voice sounds surprised. Huh? I think he discovered us. Gangrim stares, thinking, what should I call these guys? Lesser evil spirits? Ghosts? Another sound echoes. He's not even surprised. The system suddenly notifies, you do not have enough mental strength. The mysterious beings see Gangrim's actions and become intrigued. He's got guts. Gangrim, do you want to possess? No. Gangrim frowns, angry. Immediately after, the system notifies, the Guardian of the Sword Forest has offered you ownership. Gangrim reads the text, thinking to himself, that must be the Earth God of this demon realm. He calls up the shop window. Information about the Sword Forest room appears. Earth gods are deities that manage a specific area. With ownership of the Earth God, I could be stronger than anyone in that god's demonic realm. But because the Earth God is bound to this land, once I leave this place, it's useless, Gangrim. Calculating the room, it's also called the Sword Forest Labyrinth. I won't have to worry about getting lost if I accept the ownership. He immediately announces that he will purchase the item. A scroll appears in Gangrim's hand along with a notification. You have purchased the item, Demonic Realm Map. Gangrim immediately spreads the scroll out, telling himself this is everything he needs. To find his way, a line of text from the system window appears. Using Demonic Realm Map, you have explored 1%. The map appears along with a small spatial gate. Gangrim, thinks to himself, currently I can only see the rough outlines. The system notifies that the small dot is a gateway to the demonic realm that has been marked. But if I move around here more locations will be marked on the map. The system reports multiple gateways leading to the demonic realm. Gangrim ponders, am I getting closer to the fourth area? He recalls the teleportation gates at the Trainee Protection Agency. He thinks to himself, the Trainee Protection Agency is divided into many areas, but in later rooms, once people start dying off, trainees from other areas will join together for raids. The system window appears, marked Gateway. Has changed to Gateway to Area 2. The Sword Forest Guardian speaks up. Gangrim, what are you searching for? I can help you find it if you accept my ownership. Gangrim opens his bag and puts the map away. He thinks to himself, maybe they are controlling the number of people entering the demonic realm to force us to fight each other. The Guardian keeps asking. Hearing that, Gangrim flatly refuses, I'm not planning on accepting it, so just give it up. Suddenly, a series of system notifications pop up. The Master of Myriad Fires has used the item Traces of the Gods. A grandiose message will be activated in 10 minutes. A brilliant red light hits Gangrim's face, making him open his eyes wide in surprise. A sturdy man with bright orange hair appears, reaching his hand toward Gangrim, offering, the King of Myriad Fires offers you to accept him. Do you accept his ownership? A bright golden box appears, surprising Gangrim. The Master of Myriad Fires says that other gods currently connecting are nothing. The man with the bright orange hair appears. The Master of Myriad Fires says that he can make a human with a fire affinity become even more powerful. Gangrim lets out a sigh, thinking, this is actually quite touching since I'm just a bug class insect. Class Gangrim, class bug, rank 2, fire attribute. Gangrim is firm in his own thinking, but I still won't accept it, even as the attractive invitation keeps appearing before his face. The Master of Myriad Fires asks, why haven't you answered yet? The Master of Myriad Fires says, this is a very good opportunity. Suddenly, a line of text appears. The Master of Myriad Fires is watching you. A giant grasshopper appears. Gangrim swings his sword to attack it, causing green blood to spray out. He takes a gem from this grasshopper's mouth. At this moment, the soul gem count is 36 out of 1,000. Gangrim thinks to himself, I need to collect 1,000 soul gems. This doesn't mean I have to hunt 1,000 monsters because soul gems also have different tiers. The tier table for insects appears. Guidance on collecting 1,000 soul gems. Class Insect, Rank 3. Giant Worm. Class Insect, Rank 2. Blade Mantis. Class Human, Rank 3. Imp. Gangrim sheathes his sword and walks leisurely. He thinks to himself, in my past life, I killed a bunch of mantises because I lacked skills, but this time, I don't need to do that. Gangrim tells himself, each imp is worth 10 gems. I won't aim for them. Suddenly, he steps into a puddle of blood. Gangrim looks at his feet in surprise. He thinks, traces of a trap. But why? Gangrim looks around in a panic and discovers that the area near him is full of the corpses of giant grasshoppers. He can't help but be suspicious. Why is there all this blood? Could it be? A lion's head with glowing red eyes appears, holding a sword. Gangrim is terrified, thinking, he has started his move. He recalls his struggling past, and Sinsua when fighting that beast man. Deep down, he feels terrified. In his previous life, he became a target for a masked murderer. Sinsua saved his life because she was also in this area. But Sinsua, the scene of her sword being knocked away, along with Sua having her face slashed across by the murderer's sword, causing blood to splatter everywhere, appears. She lost an eye while saving him, Gangrim. At that time was panicked, supporting Sua back to the Sword Forest room. Gangrim runs blindly in fear, thinking, after that he ran away and I never found out his identity. It seems only Sinsua's group and Dogo Jun are here, right? He dashes through the forest, his mind still racing. So what about this blood? Could it be? After running for a while, Gangrim looks to the side and discovers Yun Jun lying unconscious on the ground. Around the little girl is a group of strangers, which makes him panic. Gangrim sees a man holding a strange bottle sitting down near Yun Jun. The girl's pained face reminds him of the shocked expression on Yun Jun's face in his past life. Gangrim is furious, gritting his teeth. He lunges forward, swinging the sword in his hand. Gangrim yells, "Stay away from Yun Jun!" The man from before is startled by Gangrim's shout. In another place, Gongju speaks with a stern voice. Has the trainee who went missing in the ice room returned yet? Someone replies, "Not yet. Trainee Chun Gunam still hasn't returned." Gongju sits at the meeting table and draws a conclusion. Then he must be dead. The person sitting to his right speaks. I had high expectations for him because he was the first to complete the Hellfire Room. Anna Vichasia suggests, should we go find him? Gongsun, hearing that, firmly refuses. No. It's fine. We cannot interfere in matters within the demonic realm, he continues. At the first location, everyone signed an agreement in case of losing their lives. Hearing Gongju say that, Anna furrows her brows in annoyance. Gongju adds, anyway, regarding the next demonic realm, another area has already finished the room. Suddenly he shouts, it's the people from Area 1! Gongju firmly states, the first person to complete the room, no matter which area, must be one of ours. We cannot lose to Area 1. Ru Sung-tai, seeing Anna's dark expression, approaches to advise, Anna, why do you keep doing this work when you're in such pain? Just because one person died? You surely know that others will be like that too. Anna speaks up. The thing is, I'm thinking about something else. Hearing her say, that Sung-tai is surprised. What? Anna says what she did for him. I checked the trainees in other areas because I finished the filing work. When looking up information, she discovered a strange red line of text. Anna recounts in terror. Among the trainees, there is a serial killer. Returning to the Sword Forest room, Gangram holds his sword to the stranger's neck. He shouts loudly, stay away from Unjun. The guy hurriedly says, calm down, let's talk. Around Gangram, a pale yellow light radiates. The system activates the Destiny Exploration ability. Name, Yunjun. Class, Human, Rank 3. Attribute, Fire. He raises the potion bottle in his hand, urgent. Back off. We're trying to help him recover. This is the antidote I bought from the shop. I suggest you drop your weapons first, he said, standing behind Yunjun. These were people of various ranks. Tier 3 humans, Tier 2 humans, and a Tier 3 demon. Unjun lay on the ground in agony, gasping for breath. Gangram glanced at the little girl. Info about Yunjun appeared. Yunjun, Tier 1. Human. Attribute, metal. Status, poisoned, fever, paralyzed. Watching the kid struggle, Gangram thought to himself, he's right, he needs the antidote. Even so, he remained cautious. How can I trust you guys? He decided he needed to get her out of there. Suddenly, Shin Sua ran up to him. Gangram, wait, she called out. She explained, Gangram, they aren't our enemies. Gangram questioned her. Sua, then what's going on here? The girl behind Shin Sua stepped forward. Let me explain. She continued. Truth is, he stepped into a trap we set to hunt monsters. We had no idea someone from another zone had come here. We are truly sorry. The one who spoke was Juhe Eryong, Tier 2 demon, attribute metal, guardian deity of the Ju clan. She added, regardless, we brought him here to take care of him. I just got back from dismantling all the traps we placed around this area. It turned out that the girl named Juhe Eryong was the one who set the traps. Tier 1 human. The higher the tier, the more traps one can set. They automatically lure prey without needing bait. Gangram frowned, thinking, that assassin was also good at using poison and traps. This woman is probably the strongest one in this group. She even has a guardian deity. Gangram watched Unjun feeding the medicine to the boy, thinking, but based on his abilities, he's even more suspicious. Tier 3 human, breath suspension, makes the body invisible. The effect ends when you start breathing again. Knowing Yunjun's tier made Gangram a bit less suspicious, but the kid was too weak to harm Shin Sua anyway. A while later, Yunjun woke up and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Gangram spoke up. All right. Inside, he remained vigilant. Since he didn't know who the killer was, he would be cautious with all of them. He asked, is the treatment finished? Yunjun replied, yes, it's done now. Then I'm taking him. Gangram hoisted Yunjun onto his shoulders. He thought to himself, even if none of them is the killer, it's still too dangerous to hang around people from Zone 4. The four of them set up camp in the woods. As Shin Sua was lighting a fire, she spoke up. It gets dark here pretty fast, doesn't it? Yunbom hugged Shin Sua's arm, laughing sheepishly. I've never slept out in the wild before. Yunjun appeared behind Yunbom, calling her a coward. Onbom, annoyed, retorted, aren't you scared? There are tons of monsters around here. Hearing her sister ask that, Yunjun fell deep in thought. Suddenly, a ball wrapped in flames rolled over. Shin Sua was surprised. What's that? Gangram explained. It helps scare off monsters. I got it from the shop. Hearing that, Yunbom and Yunjun couldn't help but marvel. You know so much. You're really strong and so knowledgeable. Unbom excitedly suggested. Can I be your student? Hearing her ask that, Gangrim was stunned. What? Unjun chimed in. Hey, me too, I'm way better than her. Unbom got angry. I asked first. The two of them started arguing nonstop. And what makes you so sure you're better than me? I have 2 more spirit orbs than you. I stole a bunch of monsters from you too. Watching this scene, Gangrim thought to himself, so noisy. He spoke up to stop them. You two, I'm not planning on teaching anyone, so stop bickering. Suddenly, a voice rang out, startling Gangrim. Why don't you join us? Shin Sua watched Gangrim stand up, confused. Unbom asked, Hey, where are you going? Gangrim didn't turn back. He said, It's too loud here. I'm going further away. Leaving behind a remark, I'll be sleeping far from here, so don't wait for me. Seeing Gangrim's sudden change, the other 3 were left extremely confused. Gangrim frowned, clutching his face, thinking, What the hell am I doing? I already decided to keep my distance from them. After that, Gangrim took out the egg from this morning, carefully unwrapped it. He thought to himself, I've still got a few things to do. Gangrim brought a tree branch near the egg's mouth, flicked it a few times, and said, All right, you must be starving, right? Here, eat up. The system notification rang out. Unknown egg has rejected this item. Immediately after, the egg angrily spat out the leaves in its mouth. A series of notifications popped up. Unknown egg demands meat. Unknown egg is determined to go on a hunger strike. I'm not trying to lecture anyone, so stop arguing. Suddenly, a voice rang out that made Gangrim freeze in terror. Why aren't you joining the others? Sin Sua noticed Gangrim standing up and asked curiously. Unbom chimed in. Hey, where are you going? Gangrim didn't turn back. He replied, It's too noisy here. I'm going further away. Leaving them with a blunt, I'm going to sleep far away from here, so don't wait for me. He walked off. Seeing such a sudden change in Gangrim left the other 3 feeling completely confused. Gangrim frowned and covered his face with his hand, thinking to himself, What the hell am I doing? I already decided to keep my distance from them. After what he did next, Gangrim took out the egg from earlier, which was carefully wrapped up. He thought to himself, I still have a few things to do. Gangrim brought a tree branch near the egg's mouth, wiggled it a few times, and said, All right, here we go. All right, you must be starving, right? Here, eat up. The system dinged with a notification. An unidentified egg has rejected this item. Immediately after, the egg spat out the leaf in its mouth in a fit of rage. A series of notifications popped up in rapid succession. Unidentified egg demands meat. Unidentified egg is determined to go on a hunger strike.